and gentlemen. This is episode 10. First time we jumping into double digits on that ass.
Are we there already?
We there already, Ken.
It didn't take as long as I thought it would.
It didn't actually, man. Time is flying. We loving that y'all loving this content. This is episode 10. Problematic Gentlemen Podcast. Y'all know the motherfucking vibes.
PGP.
I like it. We're gonna definitely roll with that.
Everybody get a shirt or something.
I was about to say, merch coming soon, man.
Hey, merch coming soon.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we got some good shit for y'all, as we always do every episode.
Like we always do it this time.
We got two topics we're going to discuss today, of course. Starting off with the first one. This is one, I hate the manipulation bag. Sometimes you got to get in that bag.
Starting your car up, and you see that.
Sometimes you got to get in that motherfucking bag. Gaslighting, fellas.
What's on the dashboard, you see it, you're not paying attention.
For the people,
What is it? What you gonna say, Mike?
for the people listening, for the people watching, explain it a little bit. Just give them a little background, or not a background, just an explanation.
It's a new term, bro. It's like,
It's a new term. I like the way that
It's just overused like
when you-
motherfucker.
right, they really definitely do. Sometimes y'all motherfuckers be utilizing it the incorrect way. So basically, it is a very creative, a very well thought way of manipulating a situation to your favor. Exactly. It's a good way to put it. You know what I'm saying? Make it simple. We'll dive into different aspects of it to explain it because it can be done in so many facets, whether it be the talking stage, relationship shit. It can happen whenever. Marriage too. That's a dangerous game. You gaslighting in your marriage. God damn, you should pay attention to that before you got on one knee, brother. But to start it off, brother, I'm gonna ask y'all a personal question. Have you ever fallen victim to gaslighting?
Yes.
Elaborate, my friend.
Just
my
kidding.
lovely co-host.
I'm your esteemed colleague. I appreciate you do not call me lovely. We're two grown men here.
I'm lovely.
Exactly. Alright, lovely boys.
So you gotta put that toxicity there, man.
Because I'm a toxic masculine man. Fuck you talking about.
Anyway, my nigga.
No, but it's just like, and I think that's like, women have this in their repertoire to do sometimes. I think, just younger people, especially when you're younger, we all don't have a good grasp on how to cope with things that don't go our way sometimes in a relationship, be it talking stage, relationships, or whatever level you're dealing with that dick pussy relationship.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck you niggas is into. But nah, it's just sometimes like, I think it comes from a place of like mentally shutting down when you gaslight, because like, I don't want to deal with this. So there's an issue. There's a huge issue, but I don't want to speak to it. So my partner's going to be like, well, what's the problem? Nothing.
Right.
And just go about their day or however long until it's addressed, because they want you to feel that there's an issue. They know it's an issue, but they don't want to speak to it to incite something out of you or just kind of get aroused out of you, see how you're going to react.
Mm-hmm. So are you saying like with that specifically, is that how you would say you ran into it?
I've run into that several times. I've run into that several times in my dealings with women.
Facts.
I've run into that in relationships where it's, it's simple arguments, but your significant other, or you may not want to talk about something. I've done that before. I've been like, if I'm just not feeling it that day and it's an issue, I might have just not been in the space to argue. Not saying this is okay, because gaslighting is not okay, but It's like, I don't feel into it to argue because I feel like I know it's going to go nowhere, so it's like, well, what's wrong? Nothing. Mm-hmm. I've held that on for like a day or so. And same's happened on my partner's end and other women that I've dealt with. It's just something I've come across, and it's like, obviously, I didn't know it was a term till last year. Because that's when it became popular.
Right.
How the fuck it got popular?
Because like every time we talk about it in the past, I realize like you said, it's a pretty way to say you manipulate some shit.
Yeah, I don't know why we can't just say that. But if that's the new hot shit for y'all, let's go with that.
Right.
But no, I've definitely dealt with that. It's just, it's more so in like argumentative ways where it's just like passive progressive. Because that's how I view gaslighting a lot of times. It's passive progressive, dog.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
I know something. I feel a way about something, but I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna just let you think about it.
Yeah, basically, they want you to feel the hurt without them having to explain it, but that makes for an issue because, all right, at that point, you making me come to my own conclusion, and instead of you explaining to me what's the problem, you're gonna be like, well, figure it out.
Right.
And then, even though if you might figure it out for yourself, it's probably not what I want you to come to anyway. So it's like, even if you figure it out, it's still gonna be a problem because we're not really having any discourse, so we're not engaging together, so we're still gonna arrive at the wrong destination.
Exactly.
It's a lose-lose situation.
Mm-hmm. What you think, man?
I kind of agree with Brandon on the talking stage of gaslighting. I honestly, when I think about it, I've never really feel like it's happened to me on relationship.
Okay.
Why? I mean, obviously, probably little You asking like what's wrong, nothing, or something like where we want to go eat. I know you don't want to go to this place, or you feel a way about us going to this place.
Right.
Like let's go to Applebee's, and it's like, alright. But now we at Applebee's and you got the stink face.
Exactly. Now
I'm like,
you
what's
pissed
wrong?
off. Exactly.
So it's been situations. Do I come across it a lot in the talking stage? No. I come across it more like Brandon said, or it'll be an argument, or you might not like what I did, or I don't like. But instead of us really talking about it, it's more of a, I'm gonna just say it's cool, and I'm gonna just move around.
Right.
And we never gonna settle it until 2 weeks later. We on a completely different topic or a different situation. It's like, well, 2 weeks ago.
Now we discussing it. Exactly.
Yeah.
All late in the game. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like for me, falling victim for it is something that, like Brandon said, it's to me, in my opinion, it's something that can be viewed as so minuscule and small that you may not even realize. You actually just said that. Like it's something that you might not even really realize that's occurring, but it is occurring. We all do it. We partake in it. We fall victim to it. I would say for me, I've definitely fallen victim to it, as I just said. But I've noticed for me, it's always been more along the lines of like, typically, I run into it a lot through diversion, and we talk about this shit all the time, where women take, when there's something wrong and you want to speak to it and you might try to be proactive about it, I'll try to discuss the topic, and women will they won't really focus on what it is that I'm trying to bring up, and they'll divert it, go somewhere else with the conversation, to where it's like, it almost belittle and like undermines what you feeling, because I could be really feeling a certain way about it, and I want to talk it out and figure it out with my chick.
You could be like, I want to talk about a situation A, B, and I just ate and they like, well, what you eat? Don't skip situation A and B that I'm trying to talk about.
No, don't. Like, you going around the point.
A whole point of the motherfucking message that you missed. You might have spoke to 10% of that shit.
Right.
But I feel like, because I speak to that because I think falling victim to that is easier to do within the talking stage and relationship, because women, I don't even notice they realize how often that they do that. But once again, I don't think we did it. Look, you already know where I'm going with it. Accountability. The diversion shit plays directly, in my personal opinion, it plays directly into you being accountable. There's something that I'm bringing to the table, a conversation that makes you extremely uncomfortable. Right. So rather than facing that head on, would be like, I'm trying to do so we can dead this here and now, you much rather just bring up some other shit that has absolutely nothing to do with anything and make the conversation more difficult than it needs to be. I think for me, that's a struggle, and I think that's something that we commonly see, whether males do it, whether females do it. Right. I can only speak to what I see on the daily. So I've noticed in relationships, but more so in the talking stage, because you don't really have, and I think you said this earlier when we was discussing it before the recording, it's like, I don't really owe you anything in the talking stage. So I can feel more comfortable gaslighting, because it's like, I'm not your man, you're not my bitch. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, whatever, we can kind of do whatever we want to. There's an accountability that both parties know comes with it. When you're in a relationship state.
I would say up until you both have had a discussion where you know you're going to be exclusive to each other, though.
Yeah, I agree. That's
up until that point, it's like, like you said, we don't owe each other anything. We're talking stage, you entertaining dudes, I'm entertaining chicks, and we have an understanding. It don't even have, what's understood don't got to be said. So, that should be assumed. Up until we get to the point where we both discuss, well, we like what we had, let's, move forward in an exclusive manner. Then it's like, all right, we have to be forthcoming about what we feel problems are head on. So yeah, definitely. When you're in an exclusive way, but when you're not, you don't owe anybody anything. It's like,
that's true. I just like getting into the next question with this, because it kind of leads directly into it. Like, I kind of want to do things and help motherfuckers to understand. Because, bro, if you're doing that in the talking stage, you're comfortable doing it with that person.
In a relationship,
it's going to translate.
Right.
If y'all make it to that point, it's going to translate. So why don't you do certain things that you know you need to do within the talking stage to figure it out before you allow it to elevate to that point?
But I think it goes to building on what Brandon said, where if we're in this talking stage and I know, we done talked, we done had our few dates, I done seen where I'm gonna put you now as this label of how we gonna push this relationship, or we finna push the different benefits, or you just something I'm just keeping on the side. That's where do we have this conversation of how I'm gonna handle this gaslighting situation? Because if I'm not putting you in this relationship stage, like we said, I don't care about you at all.
You don't give a damn with her.
But I feel like that conversation, male and female, they don't have that conversation. They just let this gaslighting go on. We gonna talk. We not gonna ever establish what the issues what we got going on. We finna just fade into, all right, we
get together now, y'all. And then lo and behold, the gaslighting seeping up behind the door like, what happened?
But you didn't clear out any of them skeletons in the closet before you made that jump. It's like there has to be a discussion before y'all decide to jump in and get it out on the floor what the issues are, what the problems are,
Get
what
it
your
on the
problems
floor,
are.
get it
That's a
on the
fact. It's real shit. It's like you gotta get it all out on the floor
Facts.
and understand what the issues are before you take this plunge, because it might be something that you don't like and you kind of want to find that out before you go into it with that person.
And say you do get into it with that person, who's really to blame when that occurs? Not saying that it's not the other person's fault.
Yes,
at all.
but if you choose to miss it, it's your fault, bro.
You see what I'm saying?
It's accountability on both sides, but yes, it's their fault for not bringing it to light. But if you saw it and you chose not to see it, despite whether they said anything about it, you saw it. You just chose to act benign to it.
You just chose the
It ain't
wrong
gonna
way.
happen in the future. Yes, it is.
It's definitely gonna happen. So actually, I like that we ended
That
that
nigga
part.
told you he whooped his last girlfriend head.
This nigga always.
Just yo,
How you?
they don't be doing that.
No, they do. You right.
He not gonna do it with me though.
That's a form of gas. That's a form of.
I'ma change him. He gonna be right back in jail.
Alright, bitch.
What would
So,
you do with this over there?
so getting into the next person because it kind of gets directly into that. We want to help y'all. We are here. We're to a degree. We might talk our shit, make jokes. We here to serve y'all as well. We want to help y'all figure out things in your day like what is going wrong. Why can't you find that dream man that you
something's
want?
going wrong.
Why are you crying in your bed every night by yourself with your head on that one pillow? You got another pillow, but the head never touches it because you the only motherfucker in it. I'm here to help you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next question here is, what do you feel as though are signs, red flags? And we can obviously speak towards the talking stage because you're not getting into, I would hope you're not getting into a relationship if there's red flags occurring, but some of y'all don't.
A lot of people do. We not gonna
right, 100%. To help the people out, the public out
They
here,
never pick up my red flag. Oh, y'all idiots.
what are some of the red flags that you feel as though you can call out, you can spot from a gaslighter? Somebody that you know is heavy into that shit, like in the talking stage, what's something that you feel as though you can see that, okay, that's a problem?
Mine easily is some of just not being able to say what the fuck you feel.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Like, because I'm a person, I really want to know what the fuck is going on because I'm gonna do a lot of shit myself. Like in the talking stage, even if I'm getting to the point where like I kind of like you, whatever, I know I might do a lot of bullshit, little petty shit that might get you upset. That might, but it's not because I'm like, man, fuck how you feel. I just don't. I gotta figure out what you don't like, what annoys you.
Right.
So if I do something like throw some jokes, I talk shit all the time.
Mhm.
So I might say some shit. I might come off a little stubborn.
Yeah.
If I see that makes you feel the type of way, if the conversation just shifts all of a sudden, we talking out. I say some bullshit. And it's like, yeah,
The whole vibe done switched over.
okay. And I'm like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong? Like, what happened? Was it something else? It's like, nah, it's cool.
That's the
I'm
gaslighting
like,
part of
okay.
it.
Is it cool though?
Right, is it
Like,
really cool?
I know it's not cool.
Right.
Just say it's not cool. We talk about why it's not cool. Then we can move forward.
But if you sense it's not cool, do you bring it up?
I'll ask because what? Because
if you
what,
know, though,
if
you
I
can
know
ask.
it's not cool and I'm like, you feel some type of way. 8, 9 times out of 10, not gonna be like, yeah, you right, G's. They gonna be like, nah,
Right,
yeah.
right. That's
So
what I'm
I'm
saying.
acknowledge it. Like I piss you off. I say something you don't like, and I'm like, was it something I said? Like, do you feel uncomfortable? I'll bring it up. I'll bring the attention of. I know you feel upset. Was it because of this? I know it is.
If she doesn't capture that, if she keeps putting up the stone wall of, oh no, it's not wrong, would you still like apologize and
No.
you would? If you know you did something, but she just put the wall up like, no, nothing's wrong, would you then go forth and apologize like, yeah, look, clearly I, disturbed you in some type of way, or said something that's off-putting to you. However, I struck your nerve, I apologize for whatever I may have done. Do
Not
you do
at
that?
You won't go that far, right?
I won't. Because and it's not even like I'm gonna play the game because you gonna play the game. I'm not gonna apologize, but I'm also you're not gonna get the same attention out of me because I see now. Okay, you like to play these little games.
Yeah.
If you can't communicate, if you gaslighting on communication, you might
That's the
just-
lifeline of a relationship.
So, and like I said, I know I come with, I might be doing some bullshit sometimes. So, if it's anything that I do will upset you, you'll never tell me. Me personally, now I don't even know what the fuck I can do.
Right.
Can I be myself without you getting annoyed? And then, if I bring it up, because like I said, 9 times out of 10, when you bring it up, they be like, nah, that ain't even right. You just,
They downplay it.
they downplay it. So I say, okay, yeah, well, I'll fuck around with you, but that red, I'm gonna peep that. You're not gonna get me.
But see, this is the thing that I want the public to understand with this. the red flags are always going to occur, like Brandon said. Motherfuckers jump into the relationship regardless if they occur or not. It's about the decisiveness in which you have once you see it and you being able to make a decision. Like what I just said, what you said towards the end is like, I see that, I discuss it, I try to bring it up, point of conversation, you dead it, you don't allow that conversation to go anywhere, and it can happen on multiple occasions.
Right.
I then see that, it's like, okay, I know who you are. So because this is who you are as a person, like you said, you already bullshitting on communication, you gaslight communication, you now go to this pocket, where you're probably more than likely, I'm talking about 95% of the chance not moving out of it. You have a decisive point and stance on it. I know for a fact, and I'll get to you with that, B, the question is like, I know for a fact, well, let me actually not dive too far into that because that's going to align to my answer to it. So, matter of fact, brother, go ahead. Speak to
I'd probably say like being cognizant of your partner's feelings. 'Cause that's a major one for me. It's like, and I make sure to express that when I'm in the talking stage with chicks, like early on, because I'm always ask you what are your deal breakers.
Right.
And for me, that's gonna be one of them.
Right.
Are you cognizant of your partner's feelings? Like, if you understand that there's something that your partner may not like, do you give a fuck about that, or you just be like, well, that's not. It's not me. So I don't give a fuck.
Do you keep it? Is it a difference from their feelings in the talking stage in a relationship, or is it just the same?
I gauge regardless. Now we in the talking stage. We don't owe each other anything, but I do want to gauge where you are with this because that sets the foundation for where we can possibly go.
Okay.
So if I'm gonna ask you that the day we start talking. What your do's and don'ts. So what's a no go for you? And she'll say hers and I'll say mine. And mine's is definitely, are you cognizant of your partner's feelings? And if that's you gonna say what you're saying. I'm gonna always be like, so this face is judgment free, so I'm gonna judge you like a motherfucker. So it's like,
tell me your worst story so I can exploit it.
Exactly.
Facts.
So, but it sounds fucked up, but I need to know.
Open up so I can close that.
Yes, nigga. So, but no, I have to ask.
I got that from this nigga. There's so much shit that I do that I literally got. But go ahead, bro.
I have to ask that question, bro, because it's like, I've seen that up close and personal in my dealings with women. So it's like, if you do something that I don't want to have it just be a skin deep. It's something I don't like because there's a lot of shit we both won't like. But it's like, if something's bothering me,
right.
do you care that it's bothering me, or do you, hey, it ain't bothering me?
This just me.
Yeah, this just me. Deal with it. And there are some personality traits where that could be okay, but to the detriment of our relationship, no. Like, if you're an inconsiderate person, no, dog. It's just like, if you don't care about how we feel each as like one another, it can't work. And I'm gonna source that out early. Even if you're not honest, you gonna say what you're gonna say because I'm asking this hard question.
Right.
You gonna say what you're gonna say. So it'll fall on deaf ears, but I'll see eventually.
That's definitely a situation where you can say whatever you want, but you can't hide when the situation actually occurs.
You can't hide who you are.
I can say all the time, yeah, bro, it's cool what you do. When the situation comes, I'm like, you can't hide.
Right, then steadfast and not doing absolutely nothing. Then you showcase me what the case really is. And again, like to piggyback on that, to ask another question behind it, like, do you feel as though, okay, say there's a chick you really like, y'all, it's talking stage, y'all barely know each other, but y'all get to know each other. You like her, you attracted to her, conversation goes well. She says, basically, when you bring that up, like, if you take your partner's feelings into consideration, she kind of gives you the response that showcases that she wouldn't, or she sticks to exactly what she wants. Would you, like, you kind of answered it though, but it's like, would you still then give that person a shot? Where it's like, all right, well, I know you just said exactly what I don't like to hear, but I'm gonna give you a chance.
We're in the talking stage now. My antennas is up at this point, but it's like we're in the talking stage, so it's like no action has been brought to face yet. So it's like this is probably day 2 or 3 of us talking. So I'm gonna still feel you out. We're gonna go on dates, but shit's gonna come up, and then I really want to see if that's really your. Because sometimes motherfuckers cap just to say and to get a reaction. So it's like I ain't gonna kill you just for saying that because you might just be saying shit. Because when it's like when I press you, the energy probably, and I hate this. Energy, y'all say this fucking term too much. That's the energy. Energy gonna be the fuck up. But I want to see if you're gonna hold it the same way the way when you say it. Because if I say, yo, I don't really like that. Like that's kind of an issue for me. I've seen chicks, say, well, it's like I'm gonna be me regardless. And then when me come out, and then it's like, well, yo, the way you acting right now is kind of off-putting on what you doing. That's not cool, and that's affecting me in this way. Well, I'm sorry. Like, it's okay. I didn't mean to do that. Like, so it's like, yeah, bitch, chill out. Like, you're not making this easy because it's like it gets to a point where a lot of chicks they stand on this like I said, I'm 28. A lot of chicks I deal with are 25 and up.
Right.
So it's like the older these chicks get, they try to stand on a mountain and say, you know, they're gonna be them regardless. But again, and I know I sound like a hating ass motherfucker saying it, but you just get older and older, and motherfuckers stop checking for you, and you drying up on the inside, them eggs start rotting, and it's like, what do you have? Are you just gonna continue to be undesirable, or are you gonna make a change and be like, what I'm doing has not been netting me anything? You won't catch more bees with honey than vinegar. So it's like, at what point do you stop? At what point do you stop and take accountability? Like, I have to augment how I'm acting to have a really good relationship going forward.
Talk your shit, King.
I mean, bro, like that, 100%, and that's true. Like you said, people sometimes get so concerned on, like, I'm happy that you brought that up, like that topic where it's just like, all right, yo, I'm gonna be me regardless of that and the third. Me, the happiness in which you be laying down and dreaming about that you say you want, it comes with compromise. You can't always be you regardless, bitch. So no, that's false. That's incorrect. When you do that and that mantra that you carry around, I just want to help motherfuckers be the better version of them so they can get what they say they want. So it's like, I speak to things like you said, it's kind of like you got to call that shit out from the beginning. Now I'm happy you say, like, if a chick that you really seem like you might be digging,
give them a shot.
Yeah, you give them a shot to showcase it. Because sometimes in moments, I'm not going to lie, I think with me, and I can kind of just speak to something else, but like, I am too overly impatient with that. That can actually go back to like the ego shit that we spoke on last time. So like, I'm quick to pull the trigger on certain things that I don't, like if I hear, I'm like, I'm off.
You've had this something else last year where it's like, nah, chill, B, just give him more time, man. I've had to realize that it's like, yeah, it's gonna be some shit I don't want to hear. So it's like, let me give them a little more rope because they just saying shit. Because I'm gonna be me regardless. But if it's somebody I care about, I will adjust things to make things work. If it's somebody I see a future in or potentially see something with.
And you would never you'll never move off your core values. But there's things that you'll open the door up for to be able to fit and like build the mold that you want to build with that woman if y'all taking that route. That's the compromise.
It has to be a time where it's like, okay, I'm doing all these things a certain way. I have a certain way I do things, a certain mindset I go. You're going to come across when you meet that person that you want to be with, you have to make the decision. Do I not change who you are, be completely different, like, yeah, I'm going to get out with you.
Right.
But you definitely got to make some small changes in places of building yourself up who you want to be to fit with this other person.
And I say for me specifically, this is one. My answer to this is extremely obvious. It's something that we deal with every day, and I think women struggle with seeing this through more than men. I think we are up on game with this, whereas women, they still trying to play the game and figure out what the fuck going on. If a motherfucker's words are not matching their actions, you really have everything.
iPhone emoji.
You have everything you need to know, and that's why a lot of people, all the time, I said, focus in on what somebody says, but at the right times, focus in more on their actions because you'll be able to match up if they're lying or not. I don't know and I think why women, to speak on my point with that, to give it context, I think the reason why women struggle with that is because they get so fascinated and infatuated with the idea of what they want, what they can do to a man, what they see in a man, but what if that man's not anything in what you expect? What if he's truly not that? The only way he can show you that is through action. Right. Y'all bitches be seeing it from the beginning. And what pissed me off sometimes, and that's how I know y'all full of shit, or y'all just not paying attention as much as you should. It's like, because I'll talk to chicks that, might have kids or whatever, and then like they'll be explaining their situation about their baby dad, how that shit went left or whatever. And a lot of times I'll be like, well, damn, like he seemed like he was really like, off his shit. Like, why did you not see that through before?
He dumped in you?
Yes. And then they be like, well, oh my God, like he was just doing everything right in the beginning, like he wasn't that kind of guy.
No, he wasn't. He was doing everything wrong, you chose not to see it.
Bro. Every time I hear that, I'm like, that's a complete lie.
Every time I see a single mom and she talking her shit, I laugh. If you're not humble about yourself because you're out here without the father of your child, whether it's his fault he's not there or whatever, you still let him dump in you. So, and the funny thing is, none of these chicks ever take accountability for why the man ain't around. Yes, he may have been a piece of shit. He may have cheated. He may have been lazy. He may not have had no job. He may have been a bum. But like, you chose something about him that you ain't give a fuck whether he was any of them things. And you saw them things. You said, I don't care. We're going to keep consistently fucking. Now we fucking raw. Now my stomach hurt. Oh my God. Like, bitch, you saw it. You saw it. And you didn't get pregnant the first month. You got pregnant like month 7. Now it's like, now you pregnant. But oh my God, girl, I'm in the group texting. I don't really like him like that. Oh.
But you chose wrong, bitch. You chose wrong.
I'ma change him. He's not as bad as they say. Yes, he is.
Yes, he's a man. That's why I say this to women, and I continue to focus in on women with this, is because I see how much y'all struggle with it, but it's extremely easy. I always find ways to weed out the bullshit with chicks by doing exactly what I just told y'all. I pay attention to what they tell me, the things they speak to, and I'll go by their actions. If their actions don't match their words, I can assure you, once you get into the comfort of a relationship with me, say I allow you to move into that step, you're going to be doing that even more, because you got that shit off of me in the beginning. I allowed you in the door after I saw it. You basically came to my porch, took his shit, like, can I come in? Yay! Like, no, you can't. The fuck, bitch? Like, what do you mean? What is going on? I'm not gonna allow you to, come in my space, ruin my peace, everything that I'm building and I have up, because you can't really follow through on your words.
Right.
And I think that's a struggle for some odd reason. I don't know why women don't really realize that, because time and time again, bro, what they say about, what's the definition directly of insanity? What they say it's like,
the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
You see these guys do the same thing. They approach you in the same ways. You know what I mean? They bullshit you again in the beginning. They might lie about certain things. They give you all the signs that you would need to see up front.
All I attract is fuck niggas.
Look,
That's your problem. All you see, all you want is
a fuck nigga.
That's not all you attract.
Real quick, dog. This was years ago. I took this chick out. We was talking for a little, probably like a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
It feels off though. But I remember we was on a date and she ain't had no kids, but her sister had like 3 or 4 by like 3 different guys. And the whole time she was telling me about her sister, she kept talking about how niggas ain't shit. And I'm just looking at her like,
But what about
damn.
your sister?
I'm looking at her, fuck her sister, like, you don't see the problem? So I know I can't never have nothing with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's your sister and you know she got 3 kids or 4 kids by 3 different niggas, and you don't see the problem. You don't see that your sister's the problem. How does it ever get to the point where you got 3 kids by 3 different niggas and you not with none of them?
Yes. I don't even know how.
I understand things happen. You might not be with the first baby. That happens. That's like, I ain't ready for that.
Free out of jail card.
But when it becomes more and more, bro, and you're not with none of them, that's a problem. And then when you women circle the wagon on bird-ass bitches like that, it takes a lot of credence away and a validity away from what you have to say. So you can have the perfect head on your shoulders. You can be career-oriented, have whatever you want in life, have a house, a car, and all that fly shit. But when you circle the wagon on bird bitches, you may think you're coming to their defense, but you're just letting me know that you're one of them.
Yep.
And then it's at that point that, yes, you don't have these kids by multiple men, but you might as well, because you're taking on the mantra of that person.
Yep.
So now you're just as undesirable as the bitch with all them kids with no nigga.
Yep.
Because you defended it in such a way, it's like, you're letting me know and giving me the precursor to, if this ever happened, I'm gonna blame the niggas too.
Yep.
Check, please.
That's what I'm saying.
Goofy. G.
You just broke up with your man, I seen it on Snapchat.
F. Wow.
Understanding what's going on. Brandon just did the exact same thing that Mike just did earlier in this episode. I see some shit. I am going to be decisive about the shit in which I just saw. So when I saw it, I understood, hey, that's how you get down, whatever. That's not for me. Mike, like you said, hey, that's how you get down, whatever. That's not for me. You're going to go in this box. Brandon told Shorty, and his maybe you ain't verbally said to her, but you know in your head, you now move to that box.
I saw what you're condoning. I saw not what you're doing, not what you're engaging in, but what you're condoning.
Right.
Which means you're not even an active or willing participant, but you think it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I want no parts of it because of the bullshit that you deem to be okay, right? You having 3 kids by 3 different dudes and not being any around, and then it's all the dudes' fault. When do you look at your decision like you're making poor decisions?
When do you take the accountability? And yeah, what you were saying, that's something that I can run into all the time. Like you said, when bitches be like, I just keep running into fuck niggas. Like the men out here is trash. Okay. Dating in general is tough, difficult. It's tough. It's trash. What are you doing to weed said trash? What's going on?
What did Tall John say to me in the one text where I was like, and I can't remember verbatim, but she said something, I think she was commenting on a podcast or something like that, but she was like, well, what if all men is trash?
Like,
I'm trying to
remember what the context of the conversation was. I think she was saying something about being single or something like that. Well, I was like, well, you maybe just need to choose better and choose your suitors better.
He was calling her out.
Yeah, she was like, well, what if every man is trash?
They don't date women.
No, don't give them that out.
Cause they ain't take it.
Please, get out of
Don't give them that out. Look at your yourself and be like, well, if you think every man out here is trash, but you actively date men, that lets me know the kind of men that you allow in your life. You're also a piece of shit.
If I walk into the store, the same store, every day, and it say push, and I try to pull it, and it don't work, and I come in next day, and I come in Tuesday, and I'm like, man, this door dumb as hell, like,
all doors are trash.
like, observe,
Well, you can
see,
read, just like you can read that person and
see what the person's going on, and understand, like, oh, I need to push this.
Mind you, Shorty was 6'2". Who are you a viable option for anyway, other than the G?
Then the Cavs, fuck, you need to be getting some rebounds.
You only wear 87 this bitch.
No, like that's what that, and I know I'm sorry it hurts and I'm about to body shame, but it's like, ladies, if you have to understand. I seen a chick say on her story the other day, men will be built like this and look like this and talk about a woman's body and shape how she looks. It's like, yeah, mommy, because my success rate with women is not predicated on how I look. I can be short. I could.
Nah, you can't be short.
You can, bro.
You can be.
I know short niggas that get them, nigga. So you can be short, you can be undesirable, and maybe fat, you can be bald. Mm-hmm. You can be anything. Your chin hair might not connect. You might have a little ass mustache.
I got a little bit.
Matter.
Go big over
bro,
here.
It don't matter because as a man, to get women, you have to develop other skills. You have to be charismatic. You can be funny. You can be tall. You can fuck bitch real good. You can have money. There's other things that will net you women. Mm-hmm. It starts, ladies, with how you look. That's how I know it's not fair, and I'm not saying it is. But for you to run to the fact of, well, I don't like how men can look like this and they can still tell women, well, they can, ma. You 6'2" talking about niggas ain't shit. Bitch, you need a shooting guard. Like,
we'll grab this rebound for me.
Like, get back on help defense because, like, you talking about something like you're
tall queens. You mean?
Okay. That tall queen.
I don't mind it. I'll date them. I don't have the height of I don't know, 6'2", I can't figure 6'2".
Before y'all come in here like, Brandon, no. He never bashed the tall queens. Not once.
I don't bash the tall queens. I like tall queens. Yeah, what I'm saying is,
before y'all get the
hold on, let me preface. I'm only speaking to her height because it's like, you understand that you're not getting chose like that. You're 6'2". So it's like now your dating pool is already small to deal with.
Right.
So it's like now you're alienating it even further just because you have this hang up that you don't like how men move. Oh well, shorty. Like, deal with it. It's not
accountability.
Deal with it and look at your deficiencies internally.
How old was she?
She was like 23.
Oh.
She younger, so she gonna say some goofy. But I remember you said that, getting back to what she said, like how that's you once again. To get back to what I was saying earlier, do you understand when Brandon said that? And he brought up a point of accountability when he was trying to help her get an understanding as to what's occurring and what she could probably do better to help the situation. Right. Hers then saying, which she said something that she knows is not the case. All men aren't trash. All women aren't trash. No. Let me say something to divert this point of topic. He's bringing up accountability where I have to speak to something.
I don't want to be logical in this conversation anymore, so let me just say some bullshit.
To me, just throw this out there, and then it's a smoke screen, and now I'm trying to figure out. It's like we playing Call of Duty.
The nigga shooting, he's like, oh, what's that?
It's like, they don't shoot that nigga.
It's the Batman smoke screen. He was like, oh, I'm about to get fucked up. That nigga Batman somewhere 40 stories up now, right?
Bro, and that's what I'm saying, that diversion, all of that shit. It's a point of gaslighting. And if you do that, if you partake in that so much so, Brandon didn't owe that bitch nothing. She ain't owe him nothing. You already doing that in that point of conversation. I can only imagine what you do to niggas that you talk to.
That you like.
Yeah, that you intimately involved with.
What?
Like, you probably a hag. That's why, bro.
Driving niggas crazy.
Insane. That's why.
She was in medical schools too, I think. So it's like, she also probably tries to hang that over her head, but I ain't gonna delve too deep because we're gonna say that. But like, your accolades mean that. Your accolades, understand me, ladies. Your accolades mean absolutely nothing to the man you're dating. Don't care about your degree. That's for your mama. Tell you all about that.
Nigga and he using you.
That 100%. That way. But like, your car you drive means nothing to me. I'm a man. I'm not Jody from Baby Boy. Your house, all that shit, the money you make, any real man, it don't mean a motherfucking thing too. So when you try to hold your job or career or degree over a man's head, I don't give a fuck. It's cool that you have that. Kudos for you. That takes hard work and dedication. What for? Say hard work? Dedication. So, it don't mean nothing. So just lady, I think women will be a lot better off if they stop trying to hold that over men's head. We're gonna have a whole show about that at some point, but
Definitely.
with a lady on.
Definitely.
But you gotta stop holding shit like that over men because a real man, it means nothing to you. You can tell me you graduated from Princeton, Brown, Yale, Cornell. You can drive a Range Rover or a Mercedes, but what does that mean to me? I can work at McDonald's making $35K a year. I'm still a man, bitch. My manhood is not rooted in monetary value.
Right, 100%. And that's getting it back to what I was saying earlier. It's like, I want to be able to help you understand.
Don't be bad.
I want to be able to help you understand the things that you could be doing differently to escape these problems that you consistently run into. I do personally, in my personal opinion, like I gave you my answer, I do believe that it all starts with you understanding, hey, this nigga's saying one thing, but his actions are showing me something else. Maybe I should act on that myself. But a lot of y'all just play dumb and think, okay, let me just believe what he's saying because maybe that's what he'll do eventually.
He'll come around. He won't. He's lying.
He's going to continue doing what he's going to do. So,
especially when you're allowing him to, because he's doing the complete opposite.
Yeah.
He's not saying, oh, I can keep doing this fuck shit.
And she let me get away with it?
She gonna stop me. She gonna stop me eventually. No, he's saying, oh, I'm doing this fuck shit. She allowing it. I'm gonna just keep doing this fuck shit.
Bro, you're a substitute teacher at that point.
They call it enabling. You showcase that, okay, it's okay for me to do. I'm gonna just get away with it and go ahead, you know what I mean, go start doing my own thing.
Right.
It's like you gotta be able to put some sort of understanding, like, hey, this is a boundary of mine. I'm not allowing this to occur in my life. If you want to do it, that's on you, but take your ass somewhere else. And a lot of times, like I said, when I stand on my 2 feet like that with chicks, it attracts them more because they may not even be used to men doing that in general. It's like, all right, well, you doing something I don't really feel cool with. I'm about to take my business over here. And it's like, oh, what is it that I can be doing there? Like, you try to post something up. It's like, look, man, I'm not for you, you're not for me. I'm not even gonna try. Because then if I like, you know what, maybe she's gonna try. No, you are who you are. You showcased it.
Right. And it's okay. That's not a problem. You're like, oh, it's not a problem. It's just not for me.
Right.
And that's okay.
It can work 100%. You can be happy, all the shit that you need in your life, the house with the fucking, what they call it, the white picket fence, all of that shit, the dogs running around in the yard. You can have that with another nigga and still do what you do. You just can't do that with me. But I know my boundaries and my standards, what I won't allow, what I will allow. I feel like ladies, y'all don't do that. That is why you continually run into these dumbass brick walls in the talking stage and you don't figure things out. Be able to say, let me be decisive when I see a nigga do some fuck shit. If he's consistently doing it in the beginning of the game, the beginning of the situation when y'all talking, I have to escape that because he's going to continue to do it. If I allow him to do it now when we're talking, I'm just enabling that behavior to occur in the relationship. So let me move myself completely away from it. That's who that nigga is. Let the other bitch be dumb and take him in the way that you wanted to, but then you realize you can't. Let the other bitch do that. Let that be her headache. So,
he gonna change for me. And then it's like, niggas ain't shit. You can do all this shit and you can only keep a guy that wanna be kept.
100%.
What you do?
Facts.
That's the only thing you can do. If a nigga don't want to be kept, he's not gonna stay around.
Don't matter what you do.
Pussy can be great.
You can wake that nigga up to a flood of pool of money. He gonna be like,
if he don't respect
hey
you,
baby.
if he don't respect you, it's not gonna work.
It doesn't matter. So you have to be able to identify that, like Jordan said, identify it early. And then once you identify it, because the problem isn't that y'all don't identify it. The problem is that y'all identify it and don't speak on
And
it.
decide to ignore it.
It's cool. It's not.
It's not.
Speak on it and see how most of the time they're gonna be like, what? Nigga, bird ass nigga.
Exactly. Let that nigga be who he is. He's showcasing to you. All right, I'm speaking on it. And you flipping out, and we in the talking stage. You shouldn't even feel that. You shouldn't even feel that deeply rooted in me to flip out about it.
Exactly.
Let's have an adult conversation about this. Figure it out and move it forward. Y'all so fucking incapable of that. That's what I do with my hoes act up in that way.
Man.
You feel me? I bring it up. I talk about it because I want to get an idea for who it is. That's why I say for me, when you make it past the talking stage, and I'm talking about the idea of a relationship and moving to the next stage, I can assure you, you gave me an A+ on that, where it was like you say some shit and you follow through with it.
That's why.
That's high on my priority list.
That's why I said the first question that communication is key, because I'm gonna bring it to the doorstep early, and we gonna see how you handle it. You handle it a good way. Come on in.
Right.
You take a shit on the porch. I'm gonna close my door.
Close the door. I'm not gonna give you no toilet paper to wipe your ass. Go grab some leaves in the fucking bitch in the fucking yard.
You feel me?
So getting into the next question here, fellas, kind of speaking more into this bullshit that we deal with, this gaslighting shit. What would you say is the most devastating form of gaslighting while in the relationship? Whether you see shit that you know females do in a relationship, shit that you see males do in a relationship. If y'all want me to, I can go ahead and get my answer on this one first. And this is something that I'll speak, but obviously, question Jordan, the question is in a relationship. But within a relationship, I can speak to something that I personally saw a lot, and I knew for a fact, and Brandon he can attest to this conversations I had with him on the phone when I was going through my hardships and relationships. It was something, bro, I struggle with the idea of people telling me they sorry about something when they know they're wrong, but they continue to do that.
Right.
Because in my hearts to hearts, I want to believe what you say. It's like, we together. We already in a relationship, and it's something that's bothering me. I'll make sure to voice my opinion on it, how it makes me feel, how it's eating me up, how it's making me stressed out, blah, blah, blah. And I'll speak to it, and I wish I could get to the topic of what exactly it was, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be polite. I'm going to be polite today. But I would bring it up, and I will always get, oh my God, Jordan, you right, like, I'm such a, then you start overcompensating. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, I'm such a bad girlfriend.
I'm the worst person ever.
Yeah, like, I'm not, and now you're making me feel guilty for even speaking my mind about something. That's gaslighting. So then you take it to the next level of gaslighting by saying, you know what, you're right, I can understand my discrepancy here, what I'm doing wrong, I gotta work on it, I'm sorry.
Right.
Things might change in like a week, 2 weeks. That third week, that month roll around, you right back at it.
Yeah.
And then I'm struggling with myself because like, damn, I love this person so much. I'm about to not end my relationship because of this. Because it can be minuscule in a moment. But when you do that over a year, 2 years, 3 years, it eats me up so much that it might put me in a point of like a partial depression, or I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Is this something that I'm doing? Right. And that's something that plays a part in the gaslighting. Yeah. Something that plays a part in the gaslighting, honestly, is part of the definition in itself is making a person start to question their own thoughts.
Right.
Because you're doing things and you're saying, I'm sorry about it. It's not that you don't mean it. You don't care enough to change the action that comes behind that I'm sorry.
Right.
So then I would look at myself sometimes like, Jordan, maybe you tripping. Like maybe all girls are like this. Like maybe a lot of women that you're going to deal with if this relationship doesn't work out, maybe the other women are like that as well.
Right.
No, they're not. But I would tell myself that to condition me to
because
believe.
it's happening so much.
Yeah. So I was like, damn, like maybe this is just the way things are. And I spent so much of my time struggling with that I did actually, to a point, eat into the breakups that I've had. Now, with one of them, it wasn't the only reason, but it played a big part. The thing was, like I said in the beginning, the shit that I was asking for apologies for, I was hurt about or confused about, was so minuscule, we could have figured it the fuck out and it would have been the end of that.
Right.
But like you said, as time progressed, it get bigger and bigger. It's like a snowball effect. Shit keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Now, I'm struggling with that from the point where it's like, fuck, I don't know what else to do. I don't know where to take this. That's something that you gotta work on. If you're not sorry about it, it's okay. Stand on it, but don't try to play both sides of the fence. Because all you're gonna do is ruin your relationship. Now, you want to ruin your relationship? You okay with that? By all means, get your shit off.
Right.
But I would, if you're apologizing and making it seem like you aren't okay with it, you know it's an issue. I would think that you do actually understand how much of an issue it is. Don't, when it comes to shit like that, like I said, I'm throwing this word around a lot today. Be decisive. If you're gonna do one thing, be that. If that ruins your relationship, that's cool because at least you are who you are and you stood fast in it. But if you know you're wrong, be decisive in it and fix it. Don't just say I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep doing this shit like in 30 days now.
Yeah.
Because then it's just an ongoing cycle of bullshit. So that's my answer with that one. How y'all feel?
I can go. What I probably say is like, and we preach this on the show, but it's like, to me, it's accountability though. That's like a form of gaslighting to me, because like not being accountable is like the biggest detriment though. It's like problems will come, kind of like to what you were saying. It's like, you'll do something and you'll say sorry, but you do it again. It's like a problem will occur in a relationship and like the partner will know what they did, but it's like, well, they won't really be accountable and they won't really take ownership of what they did, and then they really won't speak to how they can make things better. Like, anytime I fucked up, what I would tell my partner or the chick I'm with is like, yo, look, I'm sorry if I did this, I'm sorry if I offended you in this way, or I'm sorry I did something you didn't like.
Right.
Here's what I'll do so this don't happen again. Right. And I may fuck up again. Not saying like I'll blatantly do it, but stuff happen.
Yeah.
We not talking about no cheating shit like that. But little problems tit for tat in a relationship. But I would want to assure my partner that I'm working to mend an issue that's going on with me. And I've run into situations where I've dealt with women where they'll run into an issue that they were dealing with, and it's sorry, but get ready, nigga, cause here it come again. Like that, bro. And it's like it was like clockwork where I've been with chicks where that would happen a couple times where it's just like they wouldn't see an error in their ways. It's like, well, I'm existing with you, so be happy we existing together and it's good right now. Because
that should be enough for you.
I could make our situation fucked up and annoying.
Right.
What? That
You trying to gaslight me is an extreme difference.
Bro, that shouldn't even be a line of thinking, dog. Like that shouldn't even be in your mind to be like, well, be happy I'm making our existence peaceful right now, because I don't have to be like, what?
Right.
That doesn't even make sense to me. So it's like
counterproductive.
It's very counterproductive. So I just really say accountability, because like when you don't take on your own issues and you can't speak to what you do and you keep hitting the wall over and over again, it just makes for a tough time. We can't really progress in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say that for me.
And to add with that, if you're getting your shit, Mike, I would say to get at some context, please understand, because the question before this one, I was speaking to how the red flags.
Yeah.
I'm with this one to provide context. We're already in a relationship, so a red flag can be a red flag, but you obviously made a commitment to this person to be in a relationship. What you gonna want to do? Make it work?
Yes.
You want to make it work.
Want to make it work.
So you're not looking at the red flags the same way that you would in a talking stage in a motherfucker where, like you said, you owe me nothing, they owe you nothing.
Now we're tied. We have to, but we want to make it work if we love each other.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's try and put our best foot forward to be like, yo, I don't want to hurt my partner this way. And if I do, I want to let them know or her know that this won't continue, or I can, make steps better. And I'd be with chicks, and I ain't trying to sun you when I say this, but when you fuck up, I ain't gonna belittle you, but it's like, well, how is this not gonna happen again?
Right.
What steps are you gonna take? And I've dealt with women who I'm like, well, you don't have to try to talk to me like you're my dad. You don't have to talk down to me and all that kind of shit. It's like I'm not trying to be your dad, yo, but I know if I fuck up, that's a fact. Stop putting the wall up. I know if I fuck up, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna come to you as a man and be like, yo, I need to work on this, that, and the third. Here's I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're not going to do that, so let me bring it to you and be like, well, how you gonna make sure this don't happen again?
And I know for you specifically, with your relationship, you kind of dealt with the double whammy pause, but like you had to do. You dealt with a lot of, like you said, that and accountability. That's why you spoke to it, but then also counter with the diversion with it as well.
Yeah,
so like you would deal with a lot of that. Come talk, which is good. It's not good because obviously you don't want that to happen in a relationship, but you probably learned a lot from that shit occurring to be able to move forward with your next shit.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So that's important.
And I'm glad you said in relationships, because this is something that I have come across with my ex. Actually, I started thinking about it.
Okay.
That you see it in the talking stage, and you had a conversation about it. It's downplaying my truths.
Downplaying your truths.
Like, if you with your shawty, how many times have y'all had a conversation and she's like, be honest or tell the truth, and you actually express yourself, you tell the truth, and she's like, well, I don't really believe you because,
Like her saying, like her response is being like, you know what I mean? Like,
for example, you do something, you take the accountability, and you apologize, and she still's like, well, I don't really believe you.
Well, let me show you. Let me put action forth to show you why I can change it. Because it's okay for you to say that. I'm not going to keep you saying that. But if I'm showing you as to why I'm not going to do that.
And then you believe it. 2 weeks come by, another situation comes up, you express it, and it's still like, well, I don't really believe you. It's like
you're shortchanging my truth.
What can I do? Like, it starts to like, I've been in situations like, well, damn. Even when I tell the truth, you don't believe me.
Mm-hmm.
So now you start to think like, well, I might as well not even express myself. I might as well, if it's something that you feel you don't agree on, it's something that you feel like I did wrong, even not be honest and not tell the truth. You gotta all niggas lie.
Right. You got this mindset
of this nigga gonna lie regardless. I'm not.
And like you said, that downplays your truth, which then will make you kind of shut down. Cause like it's like when a motherfucker, for instance, to give another example on top of that, like it's like when like I remember you said a girl said that, I don't know if it was you or somebody else, but like niggas, like say it's a nigga that's really insecure about the idea of cheating. He's more than likely, when the dude does that, when the female does it, typically they're cheating themselves.
Right.
So they then kind of project that energy on the other person. Right. But like, they'll bring it up so much, and they can have the nigga can have the innocent girl that's not cheating at all, she don't get down like that, she ain't 100% faithful. Right. But her nigga keeps literally feeding her this foul energy about the idea of him suspecting that she's cheating on her. And she's like, fuck, I might as well be cheating because you think I'm cheating on the goddamn time. I'm not excusing it, saying
you gotta have hoes. Like, I don't.
But you
You got to, because I don't.
Bitch, are you trying to talk
You was
to
just
into
dealing with
existence?
that.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have hoes. Like,
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Why am I? What? I don't need to lie.
Yeah.
You have hoes, and then you like, I even check my phone. You probably deleted the messages. So where? Like,
Where's your basis of accusation, bitch?
just your mind? Like that doesn't work.
That's not tangible. You have to bring something that's very real and logical in the space of reality if you're gonna make this work.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, this can't be.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it can't just be like, oh, you got hoes, but I'm just accusing you based on nothing. But you got them. I don't like that, but I don't need no evidence because I'm a bitch.
You damn near talking into existence. So for you, I will say like with that shit, like how exactly, what would you do finding yourself through that when you had them odd moments like you say your truths being downplayed?
It was just a point where I had to either accept, okay, she's either not going to believe anything I say, or I just start to just kind of tell her what she want to hear. She's just not going to get the truth. It's not going to be the truth because like B said, even if I tell the truth, it's not the truth you want to hear.
Right.
So I'm just going to just start telling you whatever the situation is, I'm going to just start telling you what you want to hear to where you like, it's okay.
Right. So then that way you can evade the whole
I
situation
can just-
yourself.
It just doesn't matter anymore. Or not matter anymore, but it won't be a disagreement anymore. Now it's like,
It's not a staple of
just say to
conversation.
make you happy and we keep it moving.
Right.
But it's draining. How long do you do that to where it's like, okay, I don't even want to have these conversations with you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what, it's just to make you happy. It's not for us to come to a compromise or a decision as a couple and move forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so, it's my way.
And that's what's weird about that shit is that's a form of gaslighting. And in that moment, I'm pretty sure the Jones that was doing that or the chick that was doing that, they don't even realize the toll that it takes.
It's honestly something that, like you said, more of your example I would build it off of. It's not something that the first time it happens, it builds over time. It's an over time in a relationship.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, we had this talk 2 weeks ago about a situation, and it was like, well, I don't really believe that, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
Alright, I understand. It's been a good 2 weeks, it ain't, and I'm not talking about cheating, and,
Yeah, of course.
but like you said, little mini stuff that you go through in a relationship.
Mm.
Ups and
It
downs.
should never be a time where you just never ever believe.
If that's what you're living in, then you cannot have a productive relationship.
Hell no.
And thankfully, I've never had to deal with that
And-
where it's a non-belief.
and it might not even
I can
be-
only imagine what kind of hell
It might not even be straight like, you lying. It can even just be like, yeah, alright.
Yeah, but that's still, it's
You know
like
what
it's
I'm saying?
doubt.
It's not like you telling me like, you just lying, but it's like, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
whatever. Mhm.
What? What?
Like, what the fuck? Like, you just, like I said, what it does, like, the idea of gaslighting, that's why I think that shit in relationships is dangerous because, speaking of what you were just saying, the gaslight, it's a long-term play. When you in the talking stage, it doesn't matter, everything's short-term. You might, I go in talking stage, I could be talking to a chick one day and something go wrong, she say something I dislike, and I'm off it completely, and I never say another word to her again.
Right.
I can't take that approach with a female that I'm in a relationship with. We here to work this through. If you're dealing with a real man that wants to work the relationship through, the same thing with a woman, you're dealing with a real woman that wants to work the relationship through, they're going to stay put and try to see that shit through. Just don't waste my time if you know that that's something you're going to constantly do. Because like I said, with my shit, the I'm sorry and all that shit that I was dealing with all the time, it wasn't that like I looked at that person or the people that was doing that as them being bad. I didn't really feel as that. I came at the point when it finally snowballed over years and years. I was like, you know what? I'm just not the fit for that shit.
that person.
Because there's another guy that may not even look at that, not necessarily as gaslighting, but it won't even be a concern for him that will then allow it to be gaslighting.
Right.
But I then take that information to the person. Oh my God, you leaving me? It's not mutual. Like you say that now, and that's fine for you to say now. You can feel that way in the moment. Get your shit off. Give you about 5, 6, 7 months when you've been in the street, dick been running in and out of that goddamn door. You'll get comfortable and be like, you know what? You'll never tell me. I would love if you
You'll
did.
never say that.
But you'll then understand like shit.
I had a good situation, and because I wanted to be the catalyst, that's why I fucked this up. I'm out here getting ran through a street dick, and the game is the same game it was when I left it, and I'm back in it, and I'm not happy now.
Mhm.
Ladies gotta understand, it's harder for you to find a good nigga than us to find a quality woman.
I say it all the time.
We can speak our reality into existence as a man. It's easier to find your wife than ladies to find your husband. One, the odds are like 1 to 4.
Right.
So when you out there after you fucking good situation up, I know it gotta hurt. I know it has to hurt when he's like, I got a good situation now. I'm back in these streets. I fucked it up because I wanted to be hard back bitch, and now shit ain't sweet no more. Because
Right.
the game is the game. Niggas washing up in the sink. Niggas leaving you. Niggas fucking and ducking. All that fly
That
shit.
wash up rag, boy, put a little soap on that, let me clean up a little bit. I want to be crusty when I go to the crease.
See ya. They not even staying the night with you, dog.
But I will say, with the gaslighting shit, like moving on from that, when I would end it and I'd be like, you know what, it's not that big of a deal. It's a big deal for me, but it may not be a big deal for the next nigga she deal with that. She comes across like that. The thing about it is, if you're not changing those little intricacies of your personalities and things you should be working on, your gaslighting and that kind of toxic vibe will just eat into another part, and y'all will have y'all little version of gaslighting.
Right.
Could be completely different than the version that me and that female had. But that's the thing, you're not working on yourself as an individual to completely see that through.
B said something real good on the last episodes. If you don't ever change after you get out of a relationship, you will be set up for failure.
That's a fact.
If you don't get out of your relationship, look yourself in the mirror and say, I messed up here. You can't, they messed, it can,
Can't be pointing the finger on that.
two in the street.
Right.
So, where did you mess up? Where did you fuck up at? What did you do wrong? And are you able to be accountable and accept, all right, I did this, and this wrong. These are 4 things I did wrong. I know I probably ain't gonna change this first thing. Probably the second thing, probably not either. But this third and fourth shit that I was doing that bullshit on, I can at least change that.
Right.
We're not saying everything
Flip the
be
script.
perfect.
Right.
It's the SpongeBob. Remember the SpongeBob episode where he was like, he was the perfect boy?
Yeah, he lost all his hoes.
Yeah, like we how are you? We're not saying do that. But you gotta at least take one thing like, alright, I was kind of bad at this. Let me throw
Let me
this.
fix that.
Leave that in the past.
Right.
With the relationship that
That's real
didn't work.
shit.
And let's go walk into this new relationship and see where we can go.
Free game, ladies, free game. So I will say wrap this one up here, fellas. I mean, I kind of already would probably expect what you would say, but what would you say, who you say is more susceptible to the idea of gaslighting though? Do you think it's females or males?
Susceptible to the idea.
That's a good question. I think females are, but most of the time a male will come across it more.
Really?
Like,
Oh,
it's
I see what
smaller
you're saying.
scales.
I see what you're saying.
Where you want to go eat at, babe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
you're gonna burden it. You're gonna take the brunt of the burden of that.
You're gonna take it, but a female will definitely, I think, be susceptible to it a little bit. But a guy on a day-to-day basis, you just gonna guess like,
Yeah. I think we kind of facilitate a little bit more because it's like it don't have to be necessarily well, I ain't gonna talk to her today. Nah, but we do it in other little subtle ways. There are little subtle nuances that us as dudes do where we gaslight and we shut people out and we don't make things easy for our female counterparts. And we act like, there's something wrong with them, where it don't be nothing wrong with them. It be something wrong with us.
Right.
We having these issues and we don't want to talk.
I
And
know.
motherfuckers don't want to be accountable because we don't be accountable either sometimes.
We have our moments.
We have our
Yeah.
moments, but we gotta live in accountability as a man. Y'all don't really have to live in accountability.
We don't.
That's why y'all choose not to.
Oh.
Y'all choose not to. Man, to exist, you have to be accountable. But that's another story for another day. But as far as like what Mike said, we facilitate gaslighting a lot. I don't say a lot. More so than what women do.
Yeah,
we facilitate
we have to
more
run
so.
into that. I agree. And I mean, susceptible women are obviously going to. I would say because I would think women fall more susceptible to it. I do agree with you saying. That was a good point that you made because men do run with that. They run into it a lot more on the daily. I think so much so that it's probably been normalized somewhere we don't even look at it as that. It's not even something that emotionally bothers us because one, on the table, a lot of men don't even really dig that deep into their emotional bag to begin with.
Right.
Then you add that to the slate and they got to deal with that. It's like, well, I don't even deal with my emotions. The last thing I'm going to really give a fuck about doing is dealing with yours.
Right.
But I do think women fall, and I'm not going to dive too deep into my opinion of this, but I think women feel, because it's like a topic in itself for another episode one day, but it's like, I think women fall more susceptible to it more times than not because we kind of have like we have the greatest weapon, like the weapon of mass destruction when it comes to fucking when it comes to gaslighting, and that form of mass destruction is lying about intent. We open doors. We open 1,000 doors by lying about our intent. We gonna do this even though I'm gonna be with you. I kind of like you. I see a relationship out of you. I'm gonna say what I need to say to get pussy.
Right.
We control
That's a good one.
the narrative. You feel what I'm saying?
Women don't never have to do that. Ooh, I kind of like you. I'm gonna say this so I can get pussy. Nah, you don't have to do much, bitch.
You don't have to do anything.
Just say you want to have sex.
Just say you come through. Just say you need to come through text.
That's all you gotta do. So with men, because I hear it all the time, like I said, I don't want to dive too deep on it, but women that speak to that, like, why God be saying this? And y'all be knowing why we do it though. Stop asking me that question.
God, bro.
Because I want to strike.
I just had this conversation literally the other
No.
What?
We about to dive too deep.
No, I don't dive into that.
Yeah, because it's like a whole other topic for like another episode.
Yeah,
Line 1 and 10.
Okay.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah. So
in our bag.
that's why I say, in my personal opinion, women deal with that a lot more because they see that on a daily. They literally see that on a daily basis in the talking stage.
Yes, it is.
Ain't no way you escaping that, man. So, ladies, like I said, with this shit, the gaslighting, it's really to help y'all. I want to help y'all in the talking stage because y'all deal with that a lot during the talking stage, trying to figure things out. Man, we deal with that in a relationship. If you're not really too much into your emotional bag and you don't deal with that to begin with, you probably don't give much of a fuck. But there are some men out there that actually care about wanting to make their relationships better and not just living within the relationship.
Yeah.
Be honest about it. If you see it consistently, fellas, in a relationship, and it's something you spoke on, you expressed your opinion, your feelings, and you said all of that shit.
With that shit they be telling niggas, the snitch and shit, you see something, say something. See something, say something. I don't snitch, I ain't.
But I say,
See something, say
we
something.
ain't gonna catch these three brothers on Crime Stoppers.
You did.
We
See something, say
did. The
something.
boy said, y'all, it's one part of that video that he said that I made me mad that I'm forgetting.
Who's T.I.?
Nah, the nigga that guy was getting
Said
interrogated. They
T.I.
were trying to give him the stick.
Oh, he was like when they had him in the Jones.
You a whole chill.
You a whole chip. Like,
He said the cop.
You think I'm gonna fuck up my opportunity to become a real nigga? I'm gonna go to jail. They gonna love me when I come home. I'm a real nigga. Yo, that was the funniest shit in the world.
But that really, I mean, he stood on this shit though.
But it
He
sounds
probably came home
insane.
to the love like,
It sounds insane, but if you really look at the concept, I get where he's coming from. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but like he has a code of morals and ethics that he will not falter from. You gotta give him credit for that.
Ladies,
The streets gonna love me when I come
look,
home.
this shit all aligns. Do what's best for you. You got code of ethics, right? Like he said, Brandon just said morals and values. You stand on them. Guess what happens?
Said lady fat
No, I'm trying to talk to them. I'm trying to talk into existence for them. Say you,
gonna be blue in the face.
yeah. Say you do have those code and ethics, the morals and values. If you stand on them through your talking stage, you put that armor on when you hit the field. Because we all running out there. The hyena, like I said, when I'm in the game in the field, I look at myself as a hyena. I'm ready to hunt and eat. Ladies, your code of ethics, your morals and values is the armor you walk in. You throw that shit on, you walk out your castle, and you in the street. I can't get to you because you standing on that shit. So the trash man that's running around, I ain't saying I'm the trash man. I'm a nice hyena, maybe. But
Call me waste management this one.
but nonetheless,
I'm a nigga at the top of the hill like,
nonetheless, if you got your armor on, your code of ethics, your morals and values, the trash men that, like Mike said, y'all constantly say y'all run into, guess what you about to not run into as much? Those trash fuckboys that you say only exist.
Bro, women's ethics, morals, and codes go out the window when they've been scorned. Just like the old term saying, hell have no fury like a woman scorned, that means all that shit go out the window, bro. So that's why I was trying to say you can speak to you in the face, but all that shit go out the window when they tight, when you're doing something they don't like, my nigga. I know you're just trying to get a good game, but no.
You 100% correct. I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, but you can't help.
I'm trying
You
to
can't
help.
help the motherfuckers that don't want to be helped. I can't feed you. I let the never mind.
Okay, so get to the next topic. Now I'm about to be depressed for you. I feel bad for y'all. No, I don't. But get into the next topic here.
I see why y'all hate him now.
Damn, I don't
He
need
telling
none
the
of
truth,
the Lord
y'all,
feed you.
man. I see why.
Shout out to Reverend Hike.
I see
So
why.
I'm gonna say, fellas, this is the next topic here, man. It's one that we run into a lot. Mike, I'm pretty sure even though you're younger than us, you still deal with this. Maturity within the age. So, to further expound on this one here, a lot of women, a lot of men, well, I can't say men, I don't think a lot of men do it, but a lot of women definitely do this. Do you think when a motherfucker, somebody that's younger, because you typically gonna hear this from a younger person, when a person says that they're mature for their age,
Like, what
is that a lie?
Like, I hate hearing that. Like, what does that even mean?
Black man.
Like, I'm mature for my age. Or when the females be like, I only date older men.
No, you only fuck older men.
I only mess with older men because the young boys, they
They be wildin'.
But don't tell me that's the catalyst to why you're mature for your age. You hang around older dudes and you let older dudes fuck you. I'm not knocking you for that, but that don't make you mature. That just means you fuck dudes who are older than you. That does not make you mature.
That actually kind of makes you immature. Because you aren't even noticing that they just bugging you.
Well, you just dropped the gym like that on fire.
Because like, I told you I hate that. When you told me this, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk this shit.
You should definitely say that.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I hate like, because think of all the times y'all heard like a young female say that they don't never have an older boyfriend. They just be around older niggas and older females. Like, you actually immature because you don't even peep that they just striking
Right.
and keeping you moving.
Right. You constantly run into the same exact cycle and you do nothing to get yourself out.
So you might as well go back to them young niggas who gonna do the same thing, but at least they gonna cover it.
Bro,
Possibly.
like, I really can't say it no better than Mike, but when I hear, because we dudes, we talking about women because that's what we did. When I hear a woman say that, I'm mature for my age. It's time. I would ask a woman, why you think you're mature? Because I've asked women this. You know, if you're 25 or you're 23 or 21, whatever. Why do you think you mature for your age? What is it rooted in? Other than the fact that you fuck older men. And that there's nothing wrong with that. I'm an older man. Come fuck me.
Come fuck me.
But what I'm saying is me fucking you don't make you mature. That just means we engaging. Like, but is there any other redeeming quality that makes you mature?
No.
No?
You
Then
can
shut
be
the fuck
mature
up.
at 20. You can be immature at 40.
Yes.
And let me ask y'all fellas a question. Have y'all ever met a woman that said they're the maturity of the age that they're supposed to be?
I've never heard that once in my life.
And you won't.
And I would love to hear it, but you're right, I won't.
And that should be a common answer. That should be the common answer. Well, are you mature for your age? Well, I'm the maturity level of my age.
Right.
I'm
not expecting myself.
My
You're
average age.
only as mature as your experience, what you're going through. You
Right.
can't be like, yeah, I'm 20, but I got the mindset of a 29.
How?
And I went through all the shit, even though I really didn't go through all the shit at the
You
29
can't
year
even
old.
drink yet. How?
Mommy, you ain't had enough abortions yet. Like, come on, man.
You need to charge that one to the game.
You gotta commit a couple more murders, please. Like, you can't talk to me yet.
You gotta work a little bit more. I do so. I'm taking from your answers that y'all both believe that this is a lie.
Yes.
Mature for your age
Yes.
is a bold-faced lie.
I think it's a lie coming from women because, like, one, as a man, I felt that I was mature for my age, but I'm also cognizant to the fact that when I was 18, I'm the exact maturity level I should be when I'm 18.
Yes.
When I was 21, I'm the exact maturity level when I was 21. I'm gonna go out and get fucked up, hang with my friends,
But
say
see-
do dumb shit,
but
fuck
see-
bitches, like.
When I was 21, even I say when I was 19, 20, yeah, I was having fun, but I can look back like when I was 19, a 19-year-old, I was kind of mature for my age, but it wasn't because I was fucking older bitches.
Right.
It was because of my mindset.
But again, let's be honest. A lot of the time, we younger dudes, we fuck the age of chicks that are our age.
Right.
I'm not saying you don't fuck
Not
older
yet.
chicks here and there, but your pussy rate is not older bitches most times. It's chicks that are your age. So a dude can never come out of his mouth and be like, man, I'm more mature because I be fucking like 40-year-olds. I'm 17 though. I'm 21 though. I hear there are outliers, there are exceptions to the
some
rules,
people.
but it's like that's not the regular thing. But a broad will tell you she's more mature because she fucks older dudes, and that's really where it stops.
They had a hat on that.
You don't have anything else other than I fuck older men, which is why I'm mature. And you can ask a woman right now, ask any 25-year-old, ask any 23, 21-year-old, are you mature for your age? She's going to tell you yes. You're not going to run into one that says no. Or you're not going to run into one that says, no, I'm the maturity level that I should be for my age.
They're gonna say, yeah, I think so.
Why? Do you think that's more appealing to me?
I'll be working.
Don't we all have jobs?
Okay.
Like, what does that mean? That doesn't make you mature. I work 60 hours a week. So the fuck what?
I'm glad. Do you want to be homeless?
Like, so what? Does not make you mature. That makes you a responsible adult.
Yes.
That doesn't make you mature. Maturity means you excel.
I'm not
And
giving you credit for
exceed.
some shit you already should be doing to begin with. That's why I personally agree with y'all both. I do that. I think it's a bold-faced lie. I think that it's a tactic that's utilized for younger women or younger men. I can't really speak to what the men do, but I'm sure they say it as well when the older ladies that might partake in dating.
Yeah, because they're trying to get pussy. If we're saying that, if an older woman says me that, I'm saying that so I can fuck.
Yeah, I'm
An older
married.
woman don't do much fuck around no clown ass little boy.
Right.
That's true. Now, once again, some women that are
I'm
older,
sure, mommy. Come fuck me.
some women that are older, maybe they do want to take, the younger kids, that's fucked up to say. The younger dudes serious. They not might be looking for it, but it can happen and it can occur if things go right with
I
that
be
young
looking at
woman.
them women like they goofy. I'm sorry.
That's perfectly fine to say. I agree with you, and I think that it's not the smartest thing to do from a woman to a man perspective.
You 40 trying to take a 25-year-old serious? Something's wrong
That's
with
different. And it's why you don't see it as often.
Woman.
You more inclined to see, I don't know, just to think of, it could be like a really wealthy 45-year-old fucking Caucasian doctor that's dealing with a 25-year-old, a 28-year-old. But he
Did you
more
not
so
look at
because he
that
got money.
too?
What?
Like when you see like these old niggas
Well, I know what that is. That's niggas paying for pussy.
40, 45 with this 24, 25-year-old.
He said that nigga's paying for
But we know what that is, though. If I see somebody 45 with a broad that's 21, we know what that is. I'm tricking off money.
But some of these bitches, but in that regard, I understand where Mike's coming from with that question because you gotta think it's a double-edged sword to a degree. Some scenarios are like that, but in some scenarios, this bitch be really cuffed up with
Yeah,
like,
you
impregnated with
know a motherfucker that was giving it up like that.
100%.
So you gonna speak to the age difference?
So my guy, shout out my OG. He's no longer with that female, but he put me on a lot of game. I mean, I started working at the job when I was 16 years old, so he taught me a lot about women, about game in general. He's in his 60s, probably early 60s. He was in he just ended it not that long ago, but he was in like a 6-7 year relationship with a chick that we was working with for a bit of a time as well. She's same age as me, like 28. And they was in love, my nigga. Like it was a serious thing. But like Brandon said, he did a lot of shit that a real nigga that's in love with his girl would do. They would go on trips, Poconos, all kinds of shit. They went to Vegas a few times. Like he did shit like that. But it was really a genuine love because it wasn't like he was tricking off, like, you know what I'm saying? She was living there with him, but she paid.
I gotta respect that Mac game because, like you said, it wasn't monetary strictly.
Yeah.
It was my Mac game like this, bitch. You feeling it? You feeling it now? Huh? You like this? Like that? Yo, he's putting it down. So I gotta fuck with him for that.
That's
He
why-
wasn't using money to bag a bitch.
And that's why I knew a lot of the shit that he taught me was genuine because he lived it. He would speak to it because he lived it.
Right.
So it's like, I think that question that you asked, I do think that some of those situations can be very genuine because some, let's be real, when it comes to being into a serious relationship, even monetary, like a monetary shit is top. Some women do just be interested in older dudes like that. Like some women only date dudes that's like 35,
Yeah,
that be
because
like mid-20s.
They know maturity is solidified at that age. They know
It should be.
the standard is maturity is
It should
solidified.
be.
The standard for that 35 is there's maturity there. The vast majority of 35-year-olds are mature, so that's why it's enticing to younger women. But I don't. To me, this is just me coming from a 28-year-old man, bro. I cringe at the sight on these dating apps of bitches that's 23.
Hey.
I cringe.
Y'all peep how these always got 30. Yeah, I'm almost 30.
I am almost
Hey,
30.
Bro, that clock
They throw
ticking.
that old bag, the girl.
I want you to know.
Podcast.
You gonna know I'm an old nigga, man. Man,
I'm
look.
almost 30. Every episode.
We old.
I just had to throw that bag in because they threw the fucking
ARP.
they threw the fucking bitches bag
What you talking
on me.
about?
Y'all peep that? I know y'all peep.
I'm on me. Niggas is hilarious, though.
Niggas gonna go to the podcast next year with the king like, boy,
I'm for real, nigga. My back was hurting setting up the camera. What are you talking about?
I'm saying it like this.
keep good.
I don't really have much time to waste. Now, I do, but I don't. I can continue wasting my time, and like Brandon said,
You can alter your reality at any moment. Kid.
so I know that, but once again, if I continually do that and I live within that, I'm being counterproductive for
Yes.
my greatness. Because I'm holding myself back from the one chick that I really could be with, that I could be with and have that happy life, have, you know what I mean, kids, all that shit, marriage. Like we said on one of the prior episodes, at this point in time when we was younger, niggas thought they was always gonna have kids, be married, and shit like that. That didn't work
I had a
out.
white picket fence at 25.
Goofy. So it didn't work out. But it's like, it's just the way that it works. I do think that, like I said, getting back to that question, it's a lie. Y'all just say that shit just to be able to gain favor. Women are gonna do that just to gain favor with the older dude. But I will say this. What true qualities do you really need to see? Is the question. What true qualities do you really need to see from a person to see that they're mature for their age?
Are they younger?
Either gender. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's either gender.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, take that.
I'm talking to someone younger.
Mm-hmm. What actual true qualities do you need? Once again, like you were talking about earlier, the other topic, it's like, you say that shit actions, but like show me. It's like, what kind of qualities would you need to be shown?
The biggest one for me is how do you communicate?
Right, let's get back to the communication.
We go back to the communication, accountability,
Mm-hmm.
communication, accountability, and how you handle your mistakes. Like, because everybody makes mistakes, and I'm not even just, again, we always come up, but we never talk about like cheating or like shit like that. But how do you, if you, cause it's been times I've texted a female and she go a few hours without responding. Alright, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the first response back is like, oh my bad. I thought I sent the message. This is what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. How are you? I'm like, okay. Like being able to acknowledge, yeah, you kind of did some bullshit when you read my message, didn't respond.
Mm-hmm.
But acknowledging that, taking the
You
accountability.
didn't forget to press send. You didn't write the
You
damn
know what I'm
message.
saying? I'm sorry. Whatever it is.
But the accountability is something said to begin with.
I-
Being able to say I fucked up, take control of your mistakes, be accountable, and then communicate on why whatever it happened, and we keep it going. Most times I doubt you didn't text back.
Right.
But because you communicated, you acknowledge your mistake, we can move forward.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say acknowledging your mistakes, because communication and accountability, that's a topic
That always is gonna run.
But I say acknowledging your mistakes is definitely
That's a good
something
one.
when you see like, all right, maybe she is a little mature. I can actually have some good conversations.
I like
with her.
that. That's a good precursor because that's something that you, even if it's a motherfucker that's older than you, you're dealing with, you can see a lot from somebody's personality and how serious they take a quality like that by who they are. Like, all right, you're not even taking accountability for that.
Yeah.
It's a mistake in which you made. It's cool, mistakes are gonna be made, but how are you approaching that?
How
mistake?
you handle that?
So I see that. What's up with you, little B?
My thing would be like, how do you handle it when things don't go your way? Younger chick, who I'm dealing with.
Better not tell me no. No.
How do you handle it when things when how do you handle it when I tell you it's not going like this? Cause like chicks are enamored with the idea of being an older man until you with an older man who stands on something, and then it's like, oh, I can't just do what I want with him. You can do what you want with the young boy, but like I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm going to look. I'm a grown ass man, so I'm gonna put my back down on certain shit. It's gonna be give and take, you know, most of the time.
I'm always gonna play fair.
Yep, yo, relationships compromise, but it's just some shit. I'm steadfast on. It's like you're not pulling me off my square.
Yeah.
How are you able to deal with that? Because I don't trust you enough to lead this dynamic of where the fuck we going. So Brandon gonna have to do majority of the driving. So if I'm doing majority of the driving, decisions are being made over here on this side. Now we're gonna talk about the decisions, but some things I'm gonna have to take care of, and it's just like we're gonna have to power through this. Regardless really like this or not. So it's just like, how do you handle, you know what I'm saying? Here you are, you're dealing with an older man. Older man is not really letting you navigate this dynamic. He'd be a fool to. You don't even know what you eat for breakfast.
You better ride us the fuck off the cliff.
You can't even pick your favorite outfit from Forever 21.
Right.
So it's like, I don't give a fuck. But I'm saying though, like, how do you handle rejection in the regard of you not getting your way? And because that's gonna be very telling. If you throw a little hissy shit and you picture bitch and pout and all that shit, bye. No thanks. Because you want an older man, so an older man holds you accountable, and then you just can't run over an older man like you can do the thirsty little niggas that's your age. You're not getting that off of me. You're not getting that off of a grown ass man.
Exactly.
So understand, it's cool to say I want to fuck with older niggas. I want to, date older. I want to date a man who's 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years older than me. But here it is. He's a man. He stands on what he says. Can you deal with that? Or are you just gonna whine and pitch a fit because shit ain't going your way? Thank you for revealing your level of immaturity. Thank you for letting me know you're not this mature person who you say you are. That's how I look at it.
With y'all being a little older, do y'all have an age where it's like, now I'm not talking very crazy, of course. Do y'all have an age where it's like, okay, she has to show me she has an older mindset for me to even start to take her serious?
Where I'm doing that, like it's like, okay, so it has to be, like you saying, it's a certain age that she has to be at.
For example, a 22, 23-year-old comes, does she have to have, like, is that something like, okay, you definitely got to understand.
Like the age that she has. Okay.
Is it an age where you guys being a little older? Because with me, I'm 25, a 22-year-old, 23-year-old, I'm not really, my check boxes is she mature for her age?
Right.
But
that's not even she's gonna say yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta really see
But when for y'all, a 22-year-old, like, yeah, I'm trying to, you see,
she gotta go through a little bit more of a test.
Is that the test a little bit more for y'all?
Yeah, and I would say that would kick in for me. I tend to give chicks 23 is where I would date. That's my ground of where I would date.
Right.
And going up from that point. Now, if I'm going any younger than that, I'm not touching 21.
Yeah.
22 is when that starts to kick in. Like when you said, the boxes that got to be checked off, that list runs a bit longer.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's only just that one calendar year,
Right.
but I've noticed how that makes me feel. Anytime I see 22, I'm just like, oh, you got to show me a bunch of shit for me to even really consider you. And that's not me trying to, I am the prize. But once again, I'm not here to gloat and like, you know what I mean, throw away. Like, you got to show me, motherfucker. Like, it's not
You're 24 and you a prize just because you look good? That's the world we live in, man.
So what would you say?
I would say, like, as far as age-wise, like, now, I know this is hypothetical. I'm going to start by saying I wouldn't really take you serious if you're like 23. But you asked me. I'm going to give it to you.
This is why I asked. Why?
I'll tell you why. Because when that average run-of-the-mill 23-year-old is not in the space she needs to be, she doesn't know what she wants long-term. They like the idea. And they like the idea of what comes with dealing with an older man, where it's consistency. That's what they like, the idea of that. But they don't really want consistency yet. They still want to run around and be young, which is fine. But I can't latch on to that. I'm 28. No, I can't latch on to it. I'm 28. So the decisions I make are setting myself and potentially you up for our life. I'm not going to entertain that. You have to come out. If I'm doing that, you got to show me day one that you on that level. Yeah. If I'm even entertaining you. But like, if you're a younger chick, like you said, if you're 23, if we dating or whatever, you gotta show me that you mature off top, because I've dated younger chicks before, not crazy young, but like 3 years younger than me, where it didn't go the way I thought it could go. Now, you know, because all of them are gonna preach maturity to the cows come home.
Talk that shit up.
It sound good. They're gonna tell you they want this, that, and the third, but it's like, you gotta remember, yo, they still young. It's like a fucking, you getting a fucking wolf hybrid. It sound fly to have. You can tell you, yeah, I got this wolf hybrid, this half German Shepherd, this half wolf. And it's cool to have, but my nigga, it's still half wild animals. So that shit still gonna fuck up your couch. It's gonna eat neighborhood dog. It's gonna get out. It's high energy. It's gonna fuck up your lawn. My nigga, are you ready for that? Can you tame that? It's a lot of work to tame that. And it's a lot of work to tame a young ass bitch. I'm sorry I gotta put it like that, but it's a lot of work to do that, bro. And if it's like you're not invested in doing that and you don't want to deal with the trials and tribulations of dealing with a young girl who's not sure what she wants yet, don't deal with it, because like, if you're younger to me and you coming to me, you have to already be solidified. You have to already show me that you on your shit and you're ready to settle down and you're done with being a young chick. Because it's like, at this point in my life, can't waste my time with a chick who's faltering on the line of, do I still want to be young and playing around with you? Okay for you to do because you're young. Or am I ready to settle down?
He's saying everything that I would be.
If you can settle down and you can prove to me that you're ready, I'll give you a couple of months to show me that. I got that kind of time. I got that kind of time, you know, to show me that you're ready to settle down.
But I ain't got years.
But I don't have years to be playing with you. So
whereas you do.
Yes, you have time to be waste 3 years of my life and wake up one day, I don't want this no more. I don't have that kind of time,
right?
So I'm not gonna play with you like that. But that's up to me as an older man, as a 28-year-old man, to be like, I'm not gonna engage in that. But just to get back to your question, if I'm dealing with a woman that young, because I've gone through that before, I'm going to look at that situation and give you a little bit of time to see who you are and what you are as a woman and what you want long term. And if you're actively moving pieces to that, I'll see that. And if you are, I'll take you on, but I prefer not to. The youngest I would preferably like to date is 25, because that's when things start to come together for young people in general, male and female. The label of being a kid is kind of removed from you at that point.
Yeah, you don't really
at 25, and that's just how I look at it.
I agree.
All the childish shit, nah. You can still be a kid, 23, 4, 3, 20, all that. You get to have that room, but 25 is like the magic number.
That 25.
You're in a,
like,
you're
what exactly,
bro.
what are you doing? What is the direction in which you take? And that's why I actually get back to the quality question, because I didn't answer that specifically. For me, the qualities that I would need to see in a younger chick would be how much of an open mind she has, and then also how thorough she is. Like you said, kind of speaking to, because you did touch briefly on like consistency. I need to see that point of consistency with you. When we making plans, something that you're not following, you're not flicking on plans, you're not doing bullshit. Bitches is going to get in their tendency back of trying to flick on plans. It happens with certain chicks. Ones that I'm gonna be real with you. The ones, ladies, take this real quick for game. The ones that I've taken with, like a relationship with, and got into that type of bag with, they've never flaked on a date for me. They never flicked on a date with me. Now I'm not saying that directly equated to our like.
You know about to choose you, bitch. You ain't say bye to me on no date.
No, like you didn't. That wasn't what got you here, but that definitely played a part.
It helps.
Because it spoke to your consistency. It spoke to how thorough you are with things. I'm like amplified my attention on that when I'm dealing with a younger chick. Because if she's 23, 22, I know there are some faults that I'm gonna have to deal with as a younger man and work through them. But show me what I'm working with.
Right.
Show me that what I would be doing would be at least be worth the investment of that. Like we have to kind of see that through.
Right.
Now with you, with her on the other end receiving it of me, like she don't have to really take it that way because like Brandon said, she got time to waste.
She can go right back to the streets and have her fun.
And that's what a lot of the younger chicks, that's where they struggle with it. If you're really serious about dating older men, a lot of y'all don't want to be honest with yourself in the regards of like, okay, I still want to be in my whole bag. I still want to run the streets, but I also want to deal with a good guy that's gonna hold me down, take care of me. Younger chicks, because they are younger, they're so used to just doing what they want. They believe they can kind of teeter on both sides of that line.
And not straddle.
You can't do that. Now, if you're dealing with a man that's older that actually has morals, like you said, code ethics, morals and values, that's not happening at all.
No.
Some older men, I can't really say guys our age would give a fuck enough to see that that's an issue and still see that chick through. I could be wrong, but I don't think guys. No, you 40 plus, 50 plus, them niggas is cool with just being around a younger bitch to begin with. So they don't give a fuck about your qualities and what exactly.
But
you do.
them young girls ain't choosing them to be like, I can marry this man.
Yeah.
They choosing the dudes our age up to about 35 to be like, I could be with him forever.
That's true. So it's like, for me, I need to see the thoroughness. I also need to see how much of an open mind you have. I do that with any chick, but once again, it's amplified with a younger chick because in my opinion, with that, it allows me to see like how you're able to compromise, how willing you are at least to compromise. Because that's going to come with the relationship. You dealing with me, I'm older, you younger. We're going to have to compromise on certain things. Certain things that I have to be like, Jordan, you might feel this way because you're older. She might feel this way because she's younger. Like Brandon, me and Brandon talk about this all the time. That shit strikes. I don't know if we spoke about this on the podcast before prior, but like, you can be really getting into a serious argument with a chick that's younger. Going back and forth, and you done use all what you could, you exhaust all options to help get a result out of this, and you like, shit, okay, I'm doing everything I can and it's still not working. Are you sure we're doing this maybe because you're just a bit young, like it's still in the younger mindset, like you're a younger person?
Bro.
That shit, it could really honestly be the reason why, and that's okay. I'm saying that to kind of get further clarification.
Right.
You can say that, and boy, they be ready to blow the room up. Because it gets back to the question that I was saying earlier. They want you to believe, no matter what they do in their actions, they always want you to believe, I am mature for my age.
But
if I'm out here asking you that, exactly. If I'm asking you that, that means you're showcasing me something that makes me question it.
Facts.
Then she's like, what? Are you questioning that? Yeah, I'm mature for my age.
But the fact that I'm even bringing it up should let you know. Like, that's like me being a bad driver swerving on the road, and then the bitch is like, I mean, are you a bad driver? Fuck you, I'm a bad driver. I only hit like 2 people. Bro, like, she's speaking to something that she sees. Just like if I'm, like Jordan's saying, if we having an argument and I'm noticing things about the argument, I'm like, yo, we arguing a little too often. We arguing about shit that's really minuscule. Like, do you think this has a bit to do with the age difference and you being a little bit younger than me and you not, fully understanding where I'm coming from because you're younger than me?
They get in they back. They feel so disrespected when you take it to that point. But it only comes, like you said, it only comes from the point we're here now. Now I have to speak to this. But the thing about it that's so weird about it, we can actually have a productive conversation and get through it if you're just honest about it. I'm not saying that to belittle you or undermine you. I'm just trying to get a basic understanding.
When them conversations happen, and we will talk about it all the time, like, why do women think that if we having a secluded conversation between me and you in the privacy of our home or car or in a park, why do you think I'm trying to put you on display and laugh at you? Like, live from the Wachovia Center, y'all. Here's that bitch.
Watch us argue, y'all. Like, we always say this.
Bro, it's like we're here to have a conversation because we're trying to get to the bottom of this. Me bringing light to an issue that I see is not me trying to demean you, disrespect you, be your daddy. I'm just trying to like, yo, I see an issue. Let's talk about it.
Work through this.
Why does that strike a nerve in such a way where you think I'm questioning your intelligence or something like that? I'm just, yo, here's the issue. Let's talk about it. Isn't that what relationships supposed to be?
No, that's good game, though. That's good game.
So that's why, like I said, bro, with me, I've noticed, like, as I've gotten older, like, dating younger, it's not even as fun as it can come off. Like, I don't really, like if I come across it, like I'm not saying I would never entertain.
You gotta be fucking that day. If you're 21, you gotta be fucking in that 3 days that I have met you because I'm not taking you out on dates like that. It gotta be like, yo, I met you at the club, what's happening? I'm gonna see you in 2 days, what's up with it? Because I am not about to woo a 20-year-old bitch.
I will say, to give you context, I be hating when you be fucking punching the mic. It's like a punching bag with these microphones. But I will say specifically, kind of to give you context on that, they have a shorter leash. Remember how, I don't know, prior episodes, I don't know which episode it was, but Brandon would speak to how, like, sorry ladies, I'm not trying to demean you, but dealing with fat women. They have a shorter leash than the very attractive. They could be doing, say, the very attractive woman that's like exactly my type, could be doing the exact same fuck shit from a personality standpoint as the fat chick. I'm going to give that attractive woman a bit longer leash to get that off. Whereas the fat chick, she do it, I'm yanking the leash off. Now you run back to the street, bro. Right. I do the same thing with the younger chick.
Back, she fat, she can't really run. Why? He set me up for it. I had to take the Blake Griffin. God, what's wrong?
Facts, I think she did. But yeah, like she gets the exact same approach because it's like, and you could be very attractive. You could be that chick that I'm saying I really desire and I find attractive and she's 22. So like, it's been times about me and Brandon was all the time like somebody he meet a chick off in Hinge, somebody they come to me, yo, she cool, this that, and third, she seem cool, she's 22 though. Him just saying like, yeah, she's 22 though, tells me, this at least about to be 30 motherfucker. Right. But I like you though, you seem cool. Yeah.
But it's like, listen, you're with this red shirt, holler at me in like 3 years.
Red shirt?
Yeah, I'm not, go do everything you're supposed to be doing at your age. If you still around and I feel like choosing, go see a nigga in like 3 years. I'm not saying I'm waiting for you, but
let's say if I'm available,
if I got the time, easier. What hand?
That's 100% true. So, getting into the next question with this one, fellas. And I mean, it's kind of funny. Like I ask these questions, but we speak on certain parts of the topic that kind of gives me an idea. Do you feel? And this don't really necessarily have to equate to age. It could be older chick. Do you feel as though it's worth investing into an immature chick?
Ooh, that's a good question. For me, now, hell no. Because, and it's funny because we'd be like, I'm too my age. But I feel like now at 25, I'm a little more mature for my age at 25 because I'm kind of in my career.
Right.
I kind of got what I want to do. I'm kind of established. I'm handling my business a little more than my age group that I see around me, just on social media or whatever. So if I'm coming across a female that's like, yeah, I'm still trying to go to the club and I'm still trying to, that's not something I'm really too fond of. I'm not really on going out all the time. Now, of course, we can go out.
Yeah,
we can have fun.
Crazy when we
not
out
saying I'm in the crib every weekend.
Right. It's just not as consistent as it once was.
I'm not trying to go.
You going out every other weekend, mommy?
Like, I'm not trying. And it's like, when I say I'm not talking about, we can go to the arcade. We can go do stuff that we don't gotta go to the club till 2 a.m.
Right.
Like 7 p.m., mom.
Yeah, we don't gotta do that. We can go out 7 p.m. till 10, and then we go home and enjoy ourselves.
Right. And I pop that back up.
So, an immature person that's not trying to communicate, that's not trying to start focusing on our goals as us being together, that's definitely a big turn on to me now. At 25 now, 22, 23, I'm still in college. You trying to do that? We can do that.
Right.
Join the team, ma. You can go out and have
right,
fun.
you do that all night.
Wake up. Next day we do what we
Do it again.
Now it's like I'm not really trying to go to the club Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
It's funny that you say that because I never really taken account because it's a natural thing. We gradually get into that. But I remember, like, say, even when I was younger than you, like going, bro, you remember, boy, on weekends we was going out every weekend, doubled up on Friday and Saturday.
Yo.
And as I got older, I almost felt like that was like the only type of shit you could do. Even when I'm taking chicks on dates. Now, granted, I wasn't taking chicks to the club, but it'd be like the bar vibe. My date bag wasn't even as deep as it is now. You know, as I gotten older, it's like, shit, I really do enjoy going to fucking art museums. Like, I have a fucking great time going there. Like you said, enjoying the dinner, 7 to 10, and then we go home.
And then we go, and we enjoy our time
together. You go to Pound City when you go home.
Yeah, so you still, I guess because you still get the exact same result.
Nice little movie, Pound City by 10:30, I'm the fuck sleep.
I would like a motherfucking light. But that speaks to the maturity thing, and I can see why you're saying that's like, you're getting to that point in your life where it's just like, I see things that I'm trying to get aligned, I'm working on things. I need my shorty that I'm gonna be dealing with, if she gonna be like that with me, to kind of at least be on a similar page and be working towards it.
Exactly.
If a chick approach you and she just hitting you with the, yeah, I'm trying to go out, let's slide out, blah blah blah.
It's like, and even after you get it's just like, yeah, we could be talking about what you doing with your bread, you saving your money,
Yeah.
how you spending your money. It's like, yeah, let's go to the mall every weekend. Like, for what?
If we taking you serious, let's talk about. And I hate, motherfucker. You could be doing a business plan with your bro. Hey, or the joint with the
LLC.
Yo, the joint with your LLC Twitter shit where it's the nigga laying on the bed. It was like, hey Queen, how you doing? Hey King, send me a business idea. Like that shit is corny.
It's not that. I'm not talking. We're not going that deep. None of us are going that deep. But we are saying, we not trying to get the message. Cause I know they not. Cause I'm not.
Chick-fil-A franchise.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Shut up.
we are not trying to go that deep in the bag, but it's like, come on now, like, if you still like, yeah, I'm buying Gucci every night. Now, if you got that in your bag, you got the money for that, that's a different story. But let's be honest, I can say, I can't buy Gucci every single night.
Hell no. You can't buy what?
I can't have designer every night.
I know I won't.
Be driving a 2020 Porsche right now with a motorcycle.
That's not where you at in life.
You feel me? I'm not. If I could buy some Gucci shoes,
Here and there.
a Gucci belt, and then tomorrow not eat for 3 weeks.
Right, like some niggas will pay
You know what I'm
for it.
saying? That's a young boy mindset. Yeah, you fresh as hell with the Gucci belt. You feel me? And the Supreme hat.
Right.
And the Ray-Bans. But your fridge empty, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, mine, your bag, Louis. And you feel me? You got the Fendi joint on.
Right, but you're somewhere in Shaq's.
But then you get home.
Somewhere.
But when you get in your car, you turn it on, it's like
The whole dashboard like the fuck up.
you know what I'm saying? Yo shit.
First of all, why can't my son wear Shaqs? That nigga's 3, bro.
No.
He's gonna fuck them shoes up anyway.
Hey nigga, no. My son, you want your son to be wearing Shaqs?
What I'm saying is, why does baby shoes, right? For
not
like,
Shaqs, but
Anything else is what I'm trying to say.
wow, we can't.
but
Bro,
not.
I
You gotta have Jordans
Nigga,
or
when I was-
Kyries or
I
Bronze.
remember explaining to my mom why she had to stop buying me Shaq. Cause she bought
she
me
buying
one. Every mom be thinking like, oh, this a basketball player.
I had Starberries.
My
dad bought
I
me
never had a Starberry.
The-
I
I
had
like
the
all
Vans.
Starburst.
No, you didn't. Them bulky ass sneaks. We hooped in the Starberry. My dad bought them Jones. Yeah, Pop, I'll put you on the spot.
That's $50.
Nah, exactly. That's one. Them Jones was bogus. We was on the court like the Rock Boys. Yo.
Nigga was Geo dude on the court.
The Pokemon, bro.
Yo.
Niggas put them shits on. Niggas couldn't even. Like, he told me, why y'all running so slow? We got 15-pound bricks on the feet, Pop. Like, yo, I'm not putting my kids.
Bro, you got outfit the whole team with Starburst for like $38.
Yo, and you know I was a skinny nigga. Look me, I'm skinny now, so
I would have
imagine
to.
me.
I'm saying I don't want my son. You can wear Bobos, just don't wear. It's certain shoes that you got. Now, I don't know how to treat kids nowadays.
I'm just saying when a kid is like 3, because I see both. I'm not putting.
Oh, you different when it's 3. That's
When a child is, if you're not young enough to appreciate the fly shit you got
Listen.
on, I'm not gonna buy you fly shit because don't get fuck shit up.
I'm not buying my son
Listen,
Shaq.
my daughter gonna have to light up sneaks on.
You got him right.
She not gonna have no Gucci shoes on at 4.
And motherfuckers really be doing that shit.
What?
But
Fly
bitches,
as hell on the gram. Gucci
stop dressing
on.
your kid like the
Like
nigga
your-
that left you.
And like you want to look like.
Turn
Right.
over
From
hard
Mark
fresh
Cheever.
jeans on. That little baby legs can't develop like that. What's wrong with you?
Yo.
You cannot be 4-year-old with bronze on, dog. Your feet are not developed yet.
Don't
With
work that way.
Ray-Bans and a Supreme hat.
Bro.
As soon as he took the pic, he threw that across the street.
That's like Elmo, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Like he can't get the Batman shoes. Like my son will
He wanted shit to light up when he walked. You got it with Supreme
My
on.
child will have them Spider-Man Batman shoes I be seeing them on.
That's 100%. I
ain't
see
gonna be happy.
Paw Patrol and all that.
all of that. I ain't that funny shit.
But tying it back to the question and wrapping up my answer. Immature female at the time of my life, definitely not because of those the jokes we making. Now they jokes, but on a serious level, I don't want an immature female that doesn't take care of her funds correctly,
No.
that doesn't have her business, that isn't really. And I'm not saying you gotta be the richest person or you gotta be the Forex investor.
Mhm.
I hate like
Deaf seen niggas.
but definitely have at least a plan and building towards your plan the right way.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for me, an immature person, to wrap my intro, No,
Yeah.
just because of the level of maturity that I feel I'm on.
Mhm.
Now, if I'm starting, I'm immature, and I meet somebody and they call my bluff, they won't. But then we go back and I gotta look at
You gotta
myself.
point that out.
But I can come with this energy of you need to be mature because when I sleep up and I wake up and look at my mirror every night, I'm handling my business.
Right. What about you, man?
What's the question again? Like,
Would you be okay investing in an immature person?
I have to see a lot of upside. I gotta see a lot of potential. Like, it
It
gotta be like when you drafted a player, like he got upside. He's not ready yet. He raw. Like when they drafted Giannis with like the 17 pick.
Dude,
What's the AO for,
you
nigga?
said he raw.
I said with the raw upside.
No, you say he got the. You say he raw, bro. You like, yo, you do this all the time. You did this last time when you was like, I forgot what I said.
He really did.
I was like, yo, how's that AO?
We got to play back. Go ahead, brother. Continue.
If you like, you know what I'm saying, when they drafted, have draft prospects like when Giannis come up, because that's all they would say.
About Giannis, that's true.
Yes, because it's like you can see him. It's like you can tell he had potential to play basketball very well and be a freakish athlete, but he didn't have it all together yet. He was like a fucking baby giraffe. He was gangly, he was
Right.
all over the place, but
Yeah.
you can tell he had the potential to be this. I know you hate him. This MVP that he is now. So it's like,
Mike was like, Giannis the reason the Bucks suck. I was
Yeah.
back and forth.
yo. So it's like if you have the upside.
Dumbass
If I see you have upside, but I know it's like you still young, so you get to be immature. If you got upside, maybe, bro.
Mm.
And it's like a lot of gold hoops you still gotta
You
jump.
gotta jump through a lot.
But maybe. I'm not about to say yeah, but if you have like, you know, a few shining personalities, like Mike said, you got your finances in order. You don't even have to have your finances in order because you're young. Have the mindset that you want to have that shit in order.
That's true.
Be working
I
towards
like
something. I don't give a fuck if you got a career or not.
savings.
Bro,
Right.
do something, have something productive going for yourself.
Right.
Know what you want monetarily, know what you want out of a man, know what you want out of a family, and just know where you want to be going forward. And we can have something. I can work off that kind of potential, but to just be
I like
this
it.
young little bird ass club bitch, that's fun to fuck, but nah, bro. If that's just
That's
all
what
you're
it's
giving
like.
up, no, I can't.
Right.
I don't care how good you look.
Mhm.
I cannot do
Like
that.
we spoke of, you get put in these levels. Fuck around. I can entertain her.
If I say a man raw, that's not gay, bro. If I say a player raw, like if I say a player
See,
raw, that's not
he's
gay, bro.
still stuck on there.
Yes, because they're trying to get me, yo. Like,
Hey, yo.
We playing Mario Kart. We like already laps around bringing babies. Like this nigga say he said raw. You still stuck in the tree.
yeah,
the
bro.
same tree over
Spinning
there.
around.
You know what a compliment motherfuckers say when they be like, yo, that nigga raw. You never heard that before?
No.
No, what you mean? Oh, like back in the day, like young, like way back in the day.
Way back in the
Yeah,
day.
that's way back in the day, nigga.
Alright, well, that's not it, yo. So I wouldn't.
But for me, I agree with you 100% with that because I think that that's true. It's like, and that's the thing. This is why I would say my actual answer to that question would be no.
Right.
The reason why I would say that is because what Brandon said is true. That's the only way that I would be able to possibly look into it. Like there has to be potential there, right? And that's what you were saying. There has to be potential there. And me and him had these discussions like this before as well. It's like at this point though, I don't want to say I'm too late in the game because I hate making. I don't want to age myself. I say that 30 is just
These
funny.
grandpas, these old ass niggas.
I've been saying that 30 shit to be funny.
That's why
It's
they
true,
ain't
though.
fucking bitches like me. I'm there in the streets. Nah,
Couldn't go an
nah,
episode
nah.
without it. Couldn't go an episode without it.
But
I ain't said that yet.
We need it, kid.
Start it up here.
But because of where I'm at and what I'm expecting from a woman, and I feel like no matter where you at, if you got things going for yourself,
Yeah.
the idea of dating for potential can be extremely dangerous.
Yes.
And that's why I'm happy that Brandon said that, and he spoke to it because it's like that potential always it can be really intriguing, but you look at it like and where I'm at in my life, it may not make sense for me.
Right.
For the next nigga that's a little bit younger or something like that, he might have that time to waste. I had time to waste, but it has to be wasted on a chick that would give you a good potential of a shot being my girl.
Right.
Like I'm not about to invest that type of energy on some fuck shit that I know may not get there.
I can't draft the second rounder early.
Yeah,
He ain't got the
I can't take that
that's
chance.
another ball.
I'm
I gotta get a
like the GM that's on the fringe of losing my job.
Right.
So if I fuck around and don't take the safe pick and I try to get cutesy with it and go get the nigga that was from overseas that really may not be projected first round, he fuck my shit up, I lose my job.
Man,
You
look.
got the Adam Morrison.
Yeah.
Now you look.
Good luck. They told Gohan he had the most potential out of all the Z fighters. That nigga's a teacher now, so don't go off potential.
Don't
my
do
nigga.
it.
That nigga had all the potential. Bro. That nigga's a teacher now. He don't even fight no more. So I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying with this potential shit. it could go another way, bro.
Right.
Potential on pace seems good.
High reward.
High risk, high reward. On pace, potential's amazing, but it
Go
can
on,
always
risk
falter.
the whole thing.
Look,
It's the game.
I'm gonna tell you, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. I think to wrap it all up, it's dating the potential in general, in my opinion, is dangerous. I wouldn't partake in it. I would advise a lot of people that have things going for themselves to kind of keep away from that because I'm trying to think of other situations where I dated for potential. But well, that when we talking about the last episode, the one that I was like decided to do it for a while, and I stayed around and I talked myself into it because I saw the potential in her as a person. That wasn't the correct thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. It wasn't the correct thing to do. And then even when I exited that situation, it was time, Brandon, to tell you, it was times where I was like, I knew I ain't had no business hitting Shorty. We were just arguing, and he was like, yo, you have to stop. We would laugh about it. It's funny, haha, kiki. Stop, nigga. Because she's not, you ain't gonna deal with that just like that in that regard.
Right.
And that's true, it's because it's like, I was still so stuck on her, but then also I was looking at like, damn, when I was in it, the potential meant so much, like, I can take a chance. I took a chance, it didn't work out. That's why I say, no matter where you at, I was younger and I had the leeway to do it. Now, I could still do it, but I'd just rather not waste my time.
Right.
So if to give somebody advice with that, like, that potential shit sound cute, but it really don't be. It's too much of a dangerous game. You want to go with the safe pick. Don't go reaching when you go do some shit like that. Don't hurt yourself.
Right.
Yeah, the safe pick is like you said. Just to wrap it up, you know, if you want to be adventurous, just prepare. If you're, what I say is, if you're gonna go with like potential, please have a contingency plan in case that shit go off the rails. Now, I'm not saying that means have bitches on the side and like that, but like, please prepare yourself for what that could quite possibly do. Understand that you may leave with nothing, so you have to prepare yourself mentally for that.
And to bring it back to kind of the first topic, you're going to kind of see pretty early what that potential really gonna go with.
Yeah.
Like you said, you was kind of seeing like, alright, but you wanted it to be something until it got to that point, whenever it was, where you was like, okay,
This can't be it.
I can't draft this motherfucker.
Yeah.
He can't do this. He can't. Just like GMs do. We got prospects. We got 3 prospects. We got 4. Okay, whatever this person did, he can't be on this list.
Right.
Wiseman was the safe pick. The Warriors needed to take Wiseman. I know that Clay just went down, so it's like we could take LaMelo, but no.
We had to go.
We gotta go Wiseman. So it makes more sense.
But then you look at on the other end, not to try to kill you all these basketball analogies, but who picked number 1 this year?
The Warriors.
The Timberwolves. Timberwolves took Anthony Edwards. You seen that shit that came out about him right before the draft? He was like, football, my love.
Football.
He said, football's my love. I don't really give a fuck about basketball.
I want to be a rapper like Lil Baby.
Yeah.
He was like,
I we talked about it.
I don't want to rap like the other basketball players, like positivity. I want to rap about drugs.
But he was like,
He
that
ain't
nigga Dame. Yeah, he's like that nigga Dame. I don't know what he be rapping about. When I rap, I'm like Lil Baby. Like basketball, I just do this. But like football, my real love. He's like, if football reached out to me and wanted to draft me, I play football.
I'll never pick a ball up again.
But his talent, that's a mentality that sounds extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
But his talent alone, nigga said that the night before draft day.
Bro,
The number 1 draft pick, Minnesota Timberwolves took Anthony Edwards. Cause he know, like, nigga, I'm the man. Like,
I'm so good, I can talk my shit, and I think he released us a rap. This shit was trash.
Stop.
I'm like, bro, I'm glad you can dunk and get bucks, cause you did not sound like Lil Baby.
but that's
You
the
sounded like me.
The Timberwolves, like I was saying earlier, in that situation, it's gonna be high reward, high risk for them. It may not seem like that because it's the number 1 overall pick, but nigga, sometimes the number 1 overall pick don't mean nothing. Anthony Bennett was first overall, so at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Adam Morrison.
That's a fact. You can't look. Drafting off potential will get you motherfucking killed.
Dangerous, Gary might burn yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been. We'll conclude.
Rest in peace, Kobe, man.
Rest in peace.
Go.
Episode 10 of the Problematic Gentlemen Podcast. We love y'all. Get your shit on. You about to say that?
Like us on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Like us on Instagram. Follow us. Comment on Twitter. We are on Radio Breakers, Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Google Podcasts,
all of those.
all that shit. We can find us anywhere.
If y'all want us on SoundCloud, let us know. If y'all seriously want us on SoundCloud, we'll look into doing it. But we're not gonna do it just because. But if y'all want us on SoundCloud, let us know.
Like I said, reach out to us, give us your opinions on that. If there's certain topics that you would love to hear us talk about, let us know. Comment your opinions on shit.
We are looking at guests.
We are. It's gonna happen. I'm telling you, like we said before other episodes we spoke to this. just be ready. If you gonna really do this shit and you gonna come on, we gonna have a good time. We gonna laugh it up, have fun. But don't get your feelings hurt. If you get your feelings hurt easy,
Please don't come
Come
over.
here.
Because we will be using all of this footage. All of it. Including
if
the
you
part
get up
where-
and jump over this table, I'm gonna be like, damn, that's crazy. Play that back, yo.
So like you were saying before she left, like you won't ever mess us up. The only thing you're gonna do is mess yourself up.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we love y'all.